Welcome to Champagne Football Lemonade Banter. This season is brought to you by the Lightweight Athletic Club.
Whatever you're watching us on, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
No worries. So microphone, lads, as long as it's pointing your direction, your sound, it's directional, so it doesn't have to be right up against your mouth or anything like that. Aye, sound.
Sick.
Aye, so we'll just chat a lot of shite.
You lead the way, mate. I'm feeling in today, so...
Chaz is filling in. Chaz is away to Scotland, mate.
Was he on Scotland?
He's away to Scotland just for 3 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Aye, so we always have a shite goalkeeper on, so we've got you boys on. But obviously Claude is obviously known host around Australian football, so good to have him on. Don't pay too much attention to my hosting skills, mate.
No, bro.
You're up for a job. You're up for a job here. You do well.
Chaz will be back in 3 weeks. We've got Claude this week, and then we've got a couple of other people just filling in. Just people in the NPL. But aye, mate. So we'll probably just crack on. But I wanted to chat quickly about the Solo game last night, the cup game.
Cup game, yeah, 2-0 against Inter. It was one of those games where like it's sort of just get the 90 minutes getting done in 90 minutes, and to be fair, like we had probably 90% of possession, but got two and just held off, and that was it.
How was it, Inter? Any good?
Inter was alright. They're a young team, so we were just running. They were pretty fit. They didn't create much, but yeah.
Easy day at the office for you?
So, yeah. I don't think I made a save, so it's a pretty easy night. Yeah.
That's the dream, mate. That's what you want.
That's absolutely dream. And I'll talk about other games. Talk about Hakoah lost to 4-2 to Parramatta. Marconi 2-1 against Bankstown City. 2 red cards. Do you know anyone who watched that game, seen that game?
Nah, did they rest? They rest any players?
Don't think they had a lot of changes. I think Popovic started, who hasn't started a ton this season, but I mean, still a fucking good player.
Yeah.
I think they had a fairly strong lineup. I don't think it was super weak. They probably played a few 20s, but I think from what I heard, it was still maybe 7 or 8 starters.
Yeah.
I don't think Yesic played.
Yeah, okay.
Who's obviously one of the main players.
Yeah.
Sekenis gets sent off.
Yeah.
So
What
he
did he
started.
do?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he done, but I'm not sure how that affects the suspension if he misses the NPL. Do you know? Does he miss the NPL?
I think it's just
all
the
You miss it, yeah.
Miss NPL?
Yeah, because I got sent
all
off in
games,
the
yeah.
league and you get to miss the cup,
Yeah.
so I think it works the same
All
the other
games.
way
Oh,
as
Really?
well.
Aye?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he'll miss replay Marconi this weekend.
Yeah.
So he'll
You get to choose which one you miss, though? Or do you just miss the next
You
one?
just miss the next one, so yeah.
just choose a team. Who's
Can you imagine?
We're playing
We're playing finals away.
All we need for the weekend.
Yeah.
That'll be good, eh?
But the Australia Cup, do you know, like, is there when the next draw is for the next round? Is it next week, I take it, after this week?
I
After
think
the next
so,
game?
yeah. I think after the last game, I think they do it, isn't it?
It's still such a long way to go, eh?
Still
Oh, what you in?
ages.
It's like round,
What?
3?
I think it's 3 more to the round of 32.
Yeah.
Three more games.
3 more games.
Oh, the Waratah Cup semi-final.
Yeah. That's where it gets good. Has your club spoken to you? Like, do they like prioritise? Because I think Marconi, from what I've heard, that's why they're playing a strong team. They've never really had a proper run in it, and I think
Yeah.
the club
Yeah.
wants to. Does Sado say anything about whether
Yeah,
they want it?
Like, I think for us, like, obviously, like it's the club's on a new project right now, so I think, trying to get into that 32, I think is something that we're aiming for.
Yeah.
But again, like it obviously comes down to injuries.
Yeah.
Got to rest players because then the league is probably the main priority.
Yeah.
But to get a good cup run would be good.
Yeah.
What happened with the whole branding thing with Sutherland Sharks to Sutherland Sharks? And
Oh, people didn't like that, eh?
Yeah.
People were cranky about that one. Eh?
Yeah. I didn't mind the Sharks SC, but yeah, I guess.
I
obviously,
mean,
like
to me, it's
Sutherland
just like whatever. But I feel like it was nobody really wants to talk about NPL, but then they changed the logo and the brand. Everyone fucking went mental.
Yeah.
What was it? Why did it do a bit of a U-turn?
I think they just wanted to. I think they're like Southern used to be. They used to be like a. Back in the day, it was a big club. Like all the age groups were doing well. First grade was doing well, and in the last say 10 years, it's probably probably not been where they want to be. And they got some new people in now, and the club's really on a new project. Like we start. I think first game St George back at Seymour, and you'll see when teams start coming, the changes that are there. Like it's unbelievable.
Oh, is it?
It looks good. It looks
I've not
really
seen
good.
it
They've
yet.
invested some good cash, eh?
They've put some good money in, but in good places. So like
Players' pockets.
gym, state of the
And you
art.
boys got like 24-hour access. eh?
24 hour to
Oh,
gym,
right?
and
That's
the
sick.
gym's
That's
like
great.
state of the art
That's
gym.
mad.
That's so good.
Class.
It's
The
got,
pitch is better, I take it.
Yeah, brand new pitch,
Aye.
but like even like the underlay and everything on it is
Brilliant.
like it's top. The change rooms, just everything they're doing is it's
Oh, it's
an
good to go.
exciting time
That's
to be
really-
there.
Aye,
Honestly,
first
like,
class,
and,
good.
so it's a build, and so if we can get a good run in that Australia Cup, just be good.
It's a good place to be. I feel like
you
Southo-
played there, didn't you?
Yeah, I played there a couple of years ago. I feel like results-wise on the pitch, they haven't had it for a while, but it's a
Yep.
really nice club to be at. I feel like the people there and everything, they make you feel like, I don't know, you've played at some clubs, I'm sure, where the pressures that you get and the people involved and the boards and stuff. But Southo, anyway, when I was there a few years ago, really friendly, kind of family type environment. Sometimes maybe a little bit too nice. That's probably why they don't win.
Yeah. It's definitely a family club.
Yeah.
Obviously playing like say City United, which is a bit more of that ethnical.
Yeah.
So it's a bit
bit more pressure. You hear about it, right?
you lose one game and they're losing it right now.
We've got meetings straight away. Crisis meetings.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a family club, which is nice. I like it. It is a good vibe there. With the new stuff happening as well, it's going to be good. That's awesome.
What about you, Claus? Blacktown City tonight?
Yeah. Blacktown in the cup. Again,
That'd be a good game, by the way.
would have liked
Where's it at?
better draw away at Blacktown. So
That's
But you
that
can't even
pitch
see.
is
You can't even see
disgusting.
on that pitch. Eh?
Banging.
Nah,
No,
At
yeah, no,
night,
we
at night you
played-
can't see anything on the pitch. Swear to God.
No, we played there last Saturday night, 7:00.
What was the game? What was that score?
1-0 we lost.
I won that last, right?
how are they? Good side, huh?
They're good. Like, do you know what it is? They're experienced.
Yeah.
Aye.
So like they got that goal, and they just
Oh, the
they
goal's
got
a fucking
good
belter.
block. Yeah, Brian had a good strike. Yeah,
And, they lost a couple of players as well, eh?
they lost a few, I think. Yeah,
They lost Shabao, big miss.
Yeah,
Pendergast.
yeah. Both went to United.
Who else did they miss?
Hopefully they rest a few.
Bandera's been out. He's not gone, but he's not been playing. Fullback. Who else is missing? I don't know if I'm missing somebody.
Danny Troy came on.
He's not even starting. He comes off the bench a lot.
Nah.
Yeah,
I
even
remember
last year.
he was
Weapon.
Even last year.
It's not a weapon, man.
Fucking hell.
Was he not match fit or something?
I don't know.
Nah,
So
no,
what did he do? Did he use ACL? Or did he did something?
Yeah, he was out for a
Achilles or
while.
something?
Well, we spoke
Yeah.
to Mitch, we had Jack O'Brien and Mitch Malley on the show, and they were talking about saying that I think he's fully available to start. But I think since he's been coming off the bench, he's scored almost every time he's come off the bench.
Just the impact. Eh?
There's impact, he's not a bad player to come off the bench, is he? But
Like, he came in the last 10-15 and he was dangerous.
Oh,
yeah.
brilliant.
He was quick, sharp.
Having a player, when you're on the pitch for 70 minutes and you see him coming off the bench, it gives you a lift in it. You're like,
Yeah.
fucking here we go, we could win this.
Yeah.
But Mitch Malley's been playing well as well.
Yeah. No, he's a good player.
Good.
He's experienced and stuff. He's yeah, you can see it.
I think he's like fourth top scorer or something like that.
Yeah.
He's doing well.
So
But
he's an
Blacktown
idol.
City have had a funny start, or indifferent start, because they dropped points to Manly. We beat them. They lost to Rockdale 3-0, I think it
Yeah.
was as well. So, but then they picked up. It's a good win against Hughes. Then they did they beat Apia? Have they played Apia yet?
No, I don't think they have.
No, I don't think they've played Apia yet. But I'll be a good game tonight because you boys, every single person I speak to in NPL2 rates you boys.
Yeah, but
Who have you
it's
boys
not
got?
consistent.
Blacktown City.
We play
No,
Blacktown
no,
tonight.
like in your team.
I don't know if you'd know the boys.
Chaz is
We've
in
got
goals.
Chaz, but he's in fucking Scotland, so so that's not a good
Scratch it
start.
off, yeah.
It's not a good. We got a 17-year-old in goals.
Gabby Lopez is away.
Gabby's gone as well.
So we've got Gabby Lopez. I don't know if you know Gabby Lopez. He played with he had a very good youth career. I know up to he's 20, 21. He played. Was it Espanyol?
Yeah.
Played under Pochettino and all that. So he's
okay.
he's a tidy player.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
everyone had that when I was younger, but that still comes with some sort of pedigree
course,
at this
yeah,
level.
yeah.
So
he's actually signed in the Kings League.
Oh, has he?
You know PK's
Kings
Kings
League, the
League?
5-a-side
Yeah.
thing.
He went home and he's playing in that.
No
It
way.
looks fucking mad. It's mad. Yeah. It's hectic.
Just what about NPL too?
And then on the side, eh?
Yeah. No, yeah, we lost a lot of players like in the space of 2 weeks. So we're just rebuilding now. But yeah, good result on the weekend. We'll see. Hopefully Blacktown rest a few tonight.
Yeah, you know what it is as well. Like you probably say it as well. When you play, say, a division lower or like even lower, the pressure's on, like, because you don't want to lose. It's like,
Yeah.
it's embarrassing.
Yeah, pressure's on them.
You know, whereas they got nothing to lose.
Aye,
They're
it's a
like,
cup final,
okay,
they're
we'll
fine.
just go for it.
Yeah,
Aye.
yeah.
And then we're like, fuck, we can't let this one. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
And if they have a
never
shot,
easy, them
if they have a
games.
shot at a big chance, it's like everyone starts getting fucking hell, not good enough, and then everyone starts to fucking
Yeah,
panic, second guess
yeah.
things. We played someone 2 years ago. I forget the name. I can't remember who it was. It was someone up the coast, and our left back Simon Nicholas. They had like 50 fans, right? But they all just sat in a wee bunch, and every time Simon got a ball, he was clipping it a diag, and he maybe fucked one, like. But they just went on that first one. Here he goes, diag, here he goes, diag. He fucks the next one. So they followed him the whole game, man, by half. His head is gone, man.
Yeah,
He had one of the
it's
worst games ever. Just as we ended up winning an extra time against this like association team. It was a shambles game, but they just had these 50 fans
Yeah, I
just
swear.
rinsing you.
You can have a handful of people just like going at you, and that's it, your head's gone. Or you got 30,000 in the grandstand, you don't care. But like that, like small group of people.
Because you can hear everything.
Yeah,
You hear
yeah.
every comment, man.
It's like,
Did you experience it like when you were in an A-League club playing against like a semi-pro or an NPL team?
yeah,
in
you
the
do,
cup?
because they stand behind the goal and
Yeah.
stand like 20 meters away from you, and they're like, hey, you're shit. Drop
You're
the next one. Can't kick.
I know. If there's a big crowd, you can't. It's just noise in it. I suppose.
Yeah, it's just like a whole, like it's just
Muffled
muffled.
noise.
Yeah.
Just
So you're
one
like,
guy.
whatever, like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And you enjoy that too.
Yeah.
But then when there's like 10 people standing, you're like, fuck off, man.
Yeah.
Just give me a break.
Yeah. You probably hear it more than when there's
No,
thousands,
you do,
isn't
yeah.
it?
You hear every word. And you're like, bro, that happened 2 years ago. Stop it.
Well, you get some funny shouts, to be fair, man. Some of the shouts, we played Rockdale the weekend, some of the shouts off their crowd were funny, man. Just like stupid banter, but you can't help but laugh at some of
You
it,
laugh
man.
at it. You actually laugh.
laugh,
I'm like,
laugh.
oh, yeah, that
But
But I
was
swear, if you start laughing, if you make them like that you've heard them,
Yeah.
and they see that you react a little bit, and then they just jump.
That's
in.
you.
Yeah,
That's
I love
look
it,
up,
I
man.
love it.
So you got to try to like hide it. but-
Block it. Yeah.
We'll go into the NPL 1 games. So we'll start with Rockdale Spirit game. So 1-1, Euro penalty and UQB. Big game for Spirit. Obviously, we've had a right good start to the season, top of the league. This is to us was like one of the bigger tests. Like, are we just having a wee bit of luck at the start of the year, or can we kind of keep things going? Don't know if you've seen any of the highlights certainly of the game. It was Rockdale, to be fair, were probably the better team first half without creating too much. Euro missed a big chance, like a bit of a sitter by Euro standards, a massive sitter. But for most strikers' chance, probably should have took a touch probably and finished it off. And then second half, I thought we nicked a goal right on half time. And to be fair, all we looked threatening off of was long throws. And then we got one off a long throw. And then at half time, second half came out, and similar to when we played you boys actually, like first half we looked pretty comfortable. We probably created a bit more against you than Rockdale did against us, but second half you boys looked a bit recharged, and then you could just feel that momentum shift, like, and it felt in that game like we can go on and win this year, and it could have went either way. It became very transitional. Rockdale's bench is so stacked, man. Like they've got Blake, Pufflet, Richuto, Blake, Pufflet, Chris McStay,
on the
Sorge.
I'm staying on the bench, huh?
McStay, I think he was banned for 4 games or something.
Oh, what happened?
I think it was a verbals to a lino or something like that. Aye, I think it was something like that. I don't know what Perkins was talking to him, I think, but it was to me, I think Chris McStay's a crank player.
Yeah, I played with him at Wollongong last year.
Oh, so you would have been. He's
he
a
was
crank player.
unbelievable,
Aye,
yeah,
very
yeah.
good. So their bench is stacked. So they're bringing them all off the bench.
Yeah.
We've got mostly 19, 18-year-old boys coming off the bench as well. So it was a good test for us, and I think, to be fair, over the course of the 90, I think we were good value for the draw. Rockdale will definitely be disappointed not to take 3 points at home. But yeah, happy from a Spirit standpoint. Good.
Have you guys lost yet?
Not yet. No.
Haven't lost yet, huh?
Not yet.
And you're playing Marconi this weekend?
this weekend, Marconi. I
There it
think.
is, there it is.
No. No, but Marconi also.
There it is.
Fucking Chaz, man. You couldn't went on holiday.
There it is.
No, but Marconi also have it.
Marconi's not lost either. No.
And you're playing them this weekend.
This weekend
That's
on
a
Saturday.
nice game.
At Christie Park,
That's a
aye.
very nice game.
Well,
Draw. Just take a draw. Take a draw now, or
I think if we're being serious about winning the league, we need to beat the teams who are
Yeah,
also
true.
going to try to win the league, especially if it's a home game.
yeah.
I think
He's at home?
we're at
He's at
home.
home?
Aye, we're at home. I think
It's not an easy place to go to Christie Park. Man.
everyone says
Top of
that.
that hill, it's just I don't know.
Aye.
It's very open.
Aye,
Windy
it's
as
a crowd,
fuck,
mate.
eh?
Yeah.
All 6 of them loud as fuck, eh?
All the 6 12-year-old kids just shouting. No, people do say that. I think it's a bit of a smaller pitch, not massively smaller, but it's enough to notice a difference.
difference,
Just
yeah, there is,
to
there
change
is,
how you
yeah,
play, which obviously actually doesn't suit us all that much. We tend to play better on bigger fields, but because we train on it, it does. You know how to sort of play with it. But like Rockdale dropped more points. They're 6 points. I think they're 6 points off. Something doesn't, for me, watching Rockdale, something just isn't quite right. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. Like, I think their centre midfield's so strong. Like Chalakian, first half, Danzo as well. He just breezes through games sometimes. Their front 3 on paper is great. Like Ali Agla, is that what you say his name?
Yeah.
I rate him. Really, played really well.
Is it Bulls?
Is it Bills? Aye.
Yeah.
He played really well first half, especially. Like Euro's obviously a weapon, and then Moody Najjar on the other side, like on paper, really good. But this doesn't seem. I feel like last year they just seemed to link up a little bit better. The front 3 they had, but it's still early, and considering everyone you hear from, like Rockdale aren't playing that well. I think they're 6 points off the top. So if they start to pull it together,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine, man. But a big game for us this weekend. I'm not sure who Rockdale are playing. Don't have the fixtures in front of me, but we'll see how they go. Right, Sutherland game. You want to give it? You spoke about it briefly. Mate?
Yeah. Look, the result was probably fair. Like, they probably deserved to win. We started slow, and then just freaking. Fuck, they scored and they won.
That was a cracking goal, but Belter, it was an absolute
it's a good guy, Brian. Like he's a tidy player as well. He scored a few bombs, and hit it well. And then they just sort of with experience, they have that bit of a block, and we just couldn't break through it, and they probably deserve the 3 points. So
They're always at Blacktown. Always find a way, don't they? Just to be there.
Yeah. There's battlers even
Just grind it.
As a major.
Travis Major.
Does he play centre back now?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he started up
Centre back.
Apparently, that's what I heard.
He
plays everywhere, I think.
Started up front.
Plays
They
everywhere.
scored.
What does he give him?
And then he went into midfield.
I think he's just like an athlete, runs everywhere.
Yeah, he's
And you know
physical,
what? Fair play.
competitive.
Every his presence.
He's good, huh?
Yeah, he did well.
I think he just gives him that. Why did he go back there?
He did a good job.
I think he's just like fat. He's athletic. He's competitive.
Yeah.
Win headers. He gives you a bit of mongrel. Right?
Yeah.
Can play at multiple positions. He's a guy you want to try and find a way to get him in the team as well. I think so. But I think he's won a few positions.
He's a good player.
Yeah,
he's a good player. So Sutherland started top of Sutherland. We haven't had anyone from Sutherland on yet. Obviously, you spoke about the branding stuff, but and where the club's going. How's the season going so far? Because at the start of this season, man, quite a few people were saying like they fancied you boys to be like top 3, top 4.
Yeah, look, that was.
It's still happening, obviously.
Yeah, look, it's look positive. Obviously, people saying that. But yeah, for us, like I said, it's the last probably 10 years the club has not been where it's been at, and which coming from first graders playing and stuff. Like last year, I think it was around 16, they only had 10 points, which were already better than that at this current stage.
Is that always had 10 points?
Yeah.
We were similar. I think
it's
we had 14
improvement.
or something like that. Something similar.
Yeah, I think, So, it's a positive start. We just got to just keep building, a lot of new boys and stuff, and everyone's like, learning the new way of how we want to play and, stuff like that. Everyone's like learning, about each other, about, how people move. And so, I think slowly we'll just keep improving. But again, I think it's something, in the next, I think, few years, Sutherland will be
Back with
definitely back up there.
We spoke about it in a few other weeks in the shows, but you've been in the league for a few times as well, and obviously you have as well last year. Do you think the league's a bit better this year, standard wise?
Standard's good.
I think it's better this year.
Mate, you can't take any team lightly.
Aye.
Everyone's good and everyone's fit. I think this league is, if you can be fit, you can compete. And then obviously every team has their few individual players that are
Win the games basically.
win your games and stuff like that. But it's not easy. You can't go thinking anyone that.
Yeah.
You can't pick a result.
No,
At the moment, the only games that are looking a bit is that the academy clubs aren't as strong.
Yeah.
Like if you look at last year, Wanderers were so strong last year
Yeah.
because of obviously a lot of the boys who moved on. But this year, it's not really been the case. Sydney FC have dropped a couple here and there, but outside of that, you look at the league table. I think 3.
I was going to say that, I can't say I sit and watch games every single weekend from it, but the academy teams are towards the bottom. Is that because the standard of the league, everyone's gotten better, where like an A-League under 23s can't compete with, these top of the semi-pro league? Because once upon a time, they were all competing. Sydney Wanderers, when they were all getting promoted. Like,
I think
is that just everyone else has gotten better, or are they not as good as they?
I think like the leagues are getting it's getting stronger. Every team, but I think also the A-League now they're playing a lot of younger kids.
Yeah.
So I think those ones that were excelling in that league,
They're playing up there.
They're playing up there.
True.
Which is good for the league and good for Australia.
Yeah.
And then it's good for the younger ones that are getting the chances maybe earlier to play in the NPL against men.
Yeah.
And then so they can progress maybe quicker or whatever it is. But so I think that's where they're probably lacking as well. They're not getting that.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I hope they go down as well, man. Like these academy. I don't know. Do you find that like
Central Coast, I don't want to play Central Coast away.
You don't like it?
yeah, away, okay. But I just feel like I'd rather play like an RPR. Like,
I know what you
men,
mean.
like,
No,
Yeah,
I wake up going, I'm playing fucking Central Coast Managed Youth. It's like,
Yeah.
I just don't have that same.
And
No,
you're not versing the first team, so it maybe doesn't mean as much to the club. You'd rather get like
You know-
a
you know
body
you're
rig
gonna
back
get
up
kids,
or something
yeah,
that you
something
know.
like that. I'd rather like, look, I'm not taking. It's good for the academy to be up there because we're developing players.
Yeah.
But as a personal point of view,
No,
like,
I get it.
I can't stand it. Like,
Yeah.
Like
Can't
I
stand those
said, going to
dicks.
go play against a bunch of kids
Yeah.
at Fulham Park,
Yeah.
drive all the way there. It's just like it's not really.
I know.
Are you up for it or what?
Yeah.
We spoke about this as well before about how if you're an academy player, like obviously we want to win the league, like fucking massively. You want to win the league and all that, but with academy players, that isn't necessarily their goal. Their goal is to how do I get into the first team,
Just,
of the first team.
They
And
really
of course,
care about
they
the
want to
league,
win the league. They'll celebrate the goals and all the rest of it. But there is, like, I would rather play against a Sutherland where they're trying to win the league. We're trying to win the league. Versus academy is like, oh, how did I play? Am I developing? Which there's definitely a bit of that. It's a bit of that, and it's tricky.
Tell you what, Vedran, you spent so long in the A-League, and then last year you saw the NPL, all the teams, you versed them all. I'm sure you still watch a fair bit of A-League. Let's say like Brisbane Roar, Perth Glory, they're two of your bottom teams this year. Would they come in and win NPL New South Wales comfortably?
Yeah.
Yeah? So there's still that much of a gap,
There
you'd
is a
say,
gap,
between it?
Yeah, but you can tell the difference between training every single day.
That's the thing, right? So if
having
you
that
took,
under your belt.
you guys are top of the league, you and Marconi, if you just got rid of their day jobs
Yeah.
and they got the same training schedule as a Brisbane or a Perth, then still.
And it's competitive.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No,
Because
I
now,
agree.
like, on the day, let's say, like, you can have your Marconis or whatever, you're on top of the league now. You guys can play that one game, one-off game,
Yeah.
and you guys can do unbelievably well.
Yeah.
Maybe an upset. Like, these guys had
Yeah.
a cup run with Sydney United, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Upset on the day.
Yeah.
But if you're going week in, week out like that,
Yeah, no.
You get found out.
Sometimes the team
Yeah.
rises.
Yeah.
a bit of fatigue and everything else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're not used to it,
Yeah.
but there is a little gap, I reckon.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a gap. Oh, the gap obviously comes as well if you're a right good player. You're thinking, I want to go and play full time football.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're going to attract naturally better talent anyway. But yeah, there's so many boys. Like, I'm pretty sure you could go through every NPL 1 team and go, he could play A-League.
Correct.
He could play
Yeah,
A-League.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he could if he was in the right environment. And
Also, I think
etc.
that's why the leagues this year is a little bit better than last year because most of those players that they all played in one team, right? Like the good players. Now they're sort of spread out to all the other teams.
Yeah.
So it's like collectively, like everything's picked up as well.
up, yeah.
Like the league's picked up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my thoughts on that.
No,
one,
that's
because-
good. That's good, aye. Good.
Because there used to be like pockets of players, like 2 or 3 in one team, then your 2, 3 top teams. But now it's like they've all sort of spread.
Yeah.
So now they're giving value to all the other teams as well. So now it's more even playing field.
Well, I think every team's got a good few, 3 or 4 quality players
Yeah.
now, aye.
Yeah.
Aye, okay. Well, looking at what game will we go to next? We'll look at Marconi. Obviously, they're sitting top of the league as well. They played St George City 3-1-1. 3-1-1. Did you see the boys see the highlights of it at all?
No, I haven't
I
seen it.
watched a little bit of it.
It was. I didn't see the full game. Some of the boys watched the full game. I think by the first 30, 40 minutes, it seemed like St George City actually had the better chances. Not necessarily dominating the game, but missed a few big chances. And then Marconi, again, this year their thing has been not conceding a ton of goals. And then when they go ahead, it's been very difficult. And then Nathan Roberts gets sent off. I had a wee
What's he done?
It's a bit dumb.
just a wee cheeky. It's like it's so soft. I mean, it's one of those ones like, oh come on, but you can. But I think by the letter of the law, it's a red card.
Yeah, yeah. And look,
It's one of those ones.
Fair play to what's his name? What's the Marconi's keeper? Do you know James?
James.
Oh, James Hilton?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fair play. Like
Oh,
he
100%.
didn't feel
It's
shit.
Yeah, yeah, but
But
you
he's smart. And
Of
then
course.
End of the day, he gets them off.
Playing the game, eh?
Game out like
Yeah.
for them, and
As soon as that happens, it's curtains basically. Like St George aren't scoring after that. Marconi's defence is too strong at the moment. But yeah, like David McKenna scored 2 goals. Good victory, Marconi. I think they've not had a great. I don't say they've not had a great home record. They're undefeated, but they've not won a lot at home so far. They've dropped some points, but it's another victory for them. They're sitting now level, so they've, for their standpoint, they've caught. I think we were 7 points clear at some point, so they've captured a fairly big gap. But then this weekend, we'll see how we go. But,
look, it's still a long season.
Oh,
man.
mate,
Like,
it's so
What
long.
is it, 30 games?
it's still,
30 games, yeah.
yeah.
Not even a third of the way
Eight,
through.
Round 8, round 9.
I mean, we'll
Still not even half
talk
done.
about Sydney
Still
United.
indoors,
Like
yeah.
we spoke to them last week, how obviously they're a bit disjointed start, but then like if they won last weekend, I think they're only like 4 points off third or something like that now.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like oh,
yeah,
something
long way
along
to
those
go.
lines.
No,
Something.
if you look at like I think you and Marconi are starting to break a little gap, but if you I think from 4th to
Like 11th or something.
yeah,
like that.
like there's like 3 or 4 points,
Yeah.
2 points.
You
It's
put a couple
all-
wins together
Yeah,
and-
you get 2 wins on the bounce, man. You're in the top 4.
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
You know, obviously depending on other results and stuff, but yeah, like it's so tight. Like I don't know, is it like that every year?
Well, what I've been. This is the 4th year I've been at Spirit. That what I've found in most years is first to third, it's sort of tight. 4th to 6th is sort of tight. Then there's a massive gap.
Yeah.
And it's like
Everyone breaks away,
and
yeah.
you find like because we've always found ourselves in sort of like the battle between like 8th and 14th. It's been that tight. It's like 2 wins away from being in a relegation battle and being completely safe. But when you're safe, you're nowhere near finals. You're still like 12 points off it. So and it's the typical teams that are in there. You might get the odd. Like St George City found themselves in the top 6 the last couple of years, but it's Blacktown, Apia, Sydney, like the usual suspects. Sydney Olympic have dropped out it in the last couple of years, but that's typical.
If hypothetically Marconi come first and you come second, do you get invited to the championship? Yeah. Okay.
So basically, from a Australian Championship standpoint, to be honest, Spirit haven't even discussed.
Okay.
It would be.
But if one of those 5 clubs win it, it goes to the next.
Yeah. So basically, we would just technically have to finish higher than probably Blacktown City.
Yeah.
And Rockdale, if you're looking at the favourites to win it, like Rockdale and Blacktown City would be the 2 favourites outside of the standard.
Okay.
Like Marconi, Apia, Sydney
You
Olympic.
think you would do it?
Think we would do it? It's financial, mate. It's probably going to. I think, as in terms of would we do it as a club? I think for a club like Spirit to have that opportunity, it could be a once in a lifetime thing. I think it would probably say yes. I can't speak for Spirit. I have no idea, but I'd imagine they would like to do it, especially like Perco like would love to be in a full time environment. I think he would love that as well. And then a lot of the players are still ambitious to put themselves in that national stage. Yeah, it's such a short period commitment as well. It's not like commit for 12 months. It's like 3 months national stage. Put yourself in the shop window. Who knows? And even just an experience, play against these different teams. Yeah. But there's money involved. There's logistics. Like people have got families. People have got things booked. There's a lot. There's a lot of things to
People
navigate.
got work, and if you're trying to interstate in that, like.
There's a lot to navigate, mate. So it's not straightforward as I'm sure if you just say to everyone, like, lads, you get 3 months off work, full pay, your work's fine, mate. Everyone might go, oh, fuck it, we'll go for it. It's not going to be that straightforward. But if Spirit end up getting there and it gets to be more realistic, the conversation might shift completely. Like, how do we make this work?
Find a way.
You find a way, aye. Because I think other clubs might be different. Like Blacktown City, for instance. Like when we spoke to Mitch and Jack, they weren't as receptive to it. It's a case of like unlikely. Yeah. But they're a club who do win championships. They do it there. Spirit, this is only our 3rd year in NPL 1. You know what I mean? So we did win the World Cup, which was great, but to be in a national competition would be something
for sure.
Massive for the club. So I will see, mate. As we said, they've got this league could finish. We could be sitting fucking 9th. You don't know, but we could be up there. Hopefully we're up there. I would like to talk about St George Saints. They've been absolutely flying. They're sitting joint. I think they're 4th or 5th. I don't have the league table again in front of me, but they're flying. Bay Antonio's on fire. Scored another cracking goal. Casella's also playing really, really well. I think Casella set up Bay and Bay set up Casella for the goal. But they've been a bit of a surprise package, and by all accounts, they play good football as well. So, have you played them yet?
Yeah, we played them. They beat us. They were good, man. Like they weren't anything, but you know what? They worked. Aye. And that's in this league, man. Like they just worked hard. Like every time, like a second ball, they were there. Those little 1%ers, they were clean and tidy on, and they looked good. Aye. So, and that's why they've started strong.
And they're a team. Because they've actually not played badly, I don't think, the whole season, but they've only picked up points. Like they're beating Mount Druitt, I think 2-0, 20 minutes to go, and they lost 3-2, I think it finished. They peppered Rockdale. They were 1-0 up till 86th minute. Rockdale scored 2 late on. Marconi, they drew 1 each with Marconi. They dropped a few points here and there, and then they were playing really well, but sitting like 5th bottom or something like that. But they've won the last 4, I think, and now they're sitting 4th. So they've done exactly what you suggested. They've won a few games. They're flying on a bit. So they've sort of flipped roles with the other St George, because St George I thought were going to be really strong. Yeah. Again, they still could be, but at the moment they're not picking up points. They've only beaten Sydney FC, I think. I don't know if they beat anyone else.
Are St George back at St George Stadium? Are they back at Barden Park or the St George Saints? Have they moved back into the old? Yeah, that's great. That's all. That's fucking historical.
It's a nice little setup.
That's good.
Just the pitch was really dry. Yeah. I spoke to one of them. They were saying like they put the drainage underneath.
So it's grass pitch?
It's grass.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And the grass is nice. Yeah. But it's dry.
Yeah,
because the drainage there, they put like over the top drainage.
It's too good.
So every time like they water it heaps, but then the water just
fucking straight through. Yeah.
It's too good.
So like playing on it was just dry, But yeah, I thought it was just nice.
They got rid of the asbestos grandstand that was there for years. You remember? Used to train there. Fucking getting sick training there. Yeah. Fuck, that's great to see. That's good.
When we look at the Sydney Olympic, good win for them against Mount Druitt. Ruiz Diaz scored a cracking goal. He's a good player. I don't know anything about Ruiz Diaz.
I was going to say, where's he come from? People are talking about him.
Did he come from an academy team, Ruiz Diaz? I don't know enough about him, so sorry, mate, if you're listening.
Google search.
He played against. If you jump on Google, he played. What was a game they played? Was it you boys? Did he battle you? Olympic 5-0.
Yeah.
Aye,
5-0?
you fucking know.
5-1.
So yeah, clean sheet there, mate. What I mean. And no, he scored. I think he scored 2 that game. He scored 2 that game. But then I think he fell out the side. I don't know why, if it was an injury or whatever. And then he was back in again, but he scored a cracker. And then Jack Armisen on the score sheet, who is obviously from Apia from last season. But they've been another team who's been a wee bit indifferent. Olympic, not too sure what you want to get from them.
They've been up and down.
Yeah.
A little bit. For a championship side, and a big.
They started well.
Started well, and then they faded off a little bit. And then they've been a bit. You just don't really get like they won they beat you boys, which was a big result, because it wasn't just they just beat you, they thumped you, and that was after them not playing very well. And then they went and played I think Sydney FC at home. Then they lost to Sydney FC at home. Yeah. I know Sydney FC did drop a couple of scholars, but like with Olympics team, they should at Belmore they should have been winning that game. And I think that summed them up a wee bit. So I don't know how they'll go as a championship, upcoming championship side.
You got to get Ruiz Diaz on the show, bro.
How's
He's
that?
got a fucking great story. You look at where he's played. He was Mariners youth, and then he's off to Poland, Uruguay, Brazil.
Oh really? Aye.
Played for Australia under 20s. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Get him in there.
So he started really well.
Yeah.
So he'll do well for them. So I don't know how. I actually think Olympic has got a better side than last year. We've spoken about this a few times, but I think with Donovan, who was like our mainstay, gone.
Yeah.
Big miss, but I think they've spread it around a little bit, and there's more players been involved, and I think
More salary up for grabs.
spread it around a little. That's fucking probably what it is, mate, to be honest.
Credit to the boys, that.
But I think that's what's happened. But I think they've got more quality all over the pitch, as opposed to just Donovan bagging 30 goals a season for them.
Yeah. Which worked for them.
Yeah, it works as well.
Oh, it didn't. It did for the fact that they won games, but they finished 8th or something. I think 2 years. I think they won the league and then finished 8th and then finished 9th or something like that. So I think it was due a bit of a change. I mean, cracking player, but I think it was just one of those ones. And then Sydney United versus Apia. First mentioned Big Temba. I know Temba watched the show, so spoke to him privately, but shocking to see someone do their ACL, especially a big season for him and for Apia. So best of luck, big man, with the recovery. Big win for Sydney United though. Massive one we spoke about last week.
They needed that, eh?
Massive, mate. And I think last week we spoke about like they've got Antelmi come off the bench, I believe. I think Shabau's back in. Richie Darko got injured again. I heard.
Shabau scored? Or was that
No, he didn't score.
Was that
He didn't score last week. Last week he scored. But there's some 2 wins in the bounce. Beat Wolves and then beat Apia.
Yeah, they did. That's the one he scored.
Aye. So again, they're back in the mix. And I think Ante needed that massively, because there's been a lot of conversation. And fair play to Sydney United, because they've been a wee bit quick fire in the past to get rid of people, or maybe put a bit under pressure, and they've stuck with them, and they've got a couple of good results. So they could definitely find a wee bit of form. Did you watch a game?
No.
I went to the game.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I'm a United fan. So. I went to the game and they played well. They were good. They were solid. They pretty much controlled the game, really. Apia didn't really look.
Didn't threat much. The Apia goal was a cracker, to be fair.
Yeah, good goal.
Well worked.
Good goal.
Very well worked.
Yeah. But besides that, they didn't really create too much. Sort of United kept them quite quiet. But it's a good start for United now. Like, hopefully they can go on that little bit of a, good little run.
What do you think?
On paper, it's a stacked team.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, but a joke. Start the season. I was looked at that straight away and I was like, oh, fuck me, man. That's such a good depth all over the squad. But what do you think, as obviously a Sydney United fan as well, what do you think has led to that indifferent start? I know Antelmi obviously get married and he was when Shabau got injured. 2 big players, but you would think for us complementing their depth, that would be covered.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't think United ever starts.
No.
Last year was
particularly strong,
true,
and then
true.
sort of they start the building, and then with the quality they have, and then that back end they
get rhythm, and
they get rhythm, and they go on that big run. So I think last year they did. I think like they didn't start strong, and then they went at like 10 unbeaten.
That's right. Sorry, did I?
And then they got into that thing, and they were like 20 minutes away from being in the grand final. So I think this year, now they're starting to find that bit of form.
Yep.
Obviously Mario's come back, Paddy's back from suspension, so they're getting a bit more of them boys back in. So I think they'll
it'll take time for them to click as well. All of them. What's his name? Wells? Is it Wells?
Wells, he's played well. He's started very well, hasn't he?
Goals now.
Yeah, he's sharp. He's scored a bomb against me.
Fuck, I want his.
Just conceding goals, man.
Wow.
Manly 6-0 versus Wolves. Do you still speak in touch with both the Wolves?
Oh, a couple of boys, yeah.
Have you spoke to them about the game?
Nah. I'm not reaching out for after 6-0. I'm not reaching out after 6-0.
The boys were
Just
saying you're
close
the,
that
you're the
chapter.
goalkeeping coach as well, mate. 6 goals.
Yeah, absolutely not.
No, I
I wouldn't be here today.
No, to be fair, Manly, like we've spoken about off air, but decent defensively.
Yeah.
Hard to play at Cromer Park.
Yeah, historically hard to play. Yeah.
16 goals, I think, at least at Cromer Park. They've won 5-0, 5-0, 6-0. And I've scored a few other in there at Cromer. Wolves, bizarre result for me, because Wolves are always pretty difficult to play against in general. I mean, I've got no idea what went wrong there. If Manly were just on fire and Wolves collapsed, or it was a bit of both, I don't know. The highlights were literally just 6 goals.
Yeah, literally, yeah. I watched the last like 20 minutes maybe.
Game's done by then.
Yeah,
Innit?
it was
You
finished.
got a red card as well, didn't he?
Red card, yeah. Yeah.
That wasn't a red card, by the way.
I didn't see it.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a tackle outside the box.
Ah, okay.
But
Cover
the
the
refs
defender.
obviously sent him off for last man challenge. But there's so much cover there.
Aye.
You know, it's a bit harsh. Like they were down 4-5-0 as well, man. Give
What
me
would
a
you
bit
do?
of-
Yeah.
Just gonna leave He's
You
put the
know.
dagger in
Yeah,
there.
literally, just
Just
finished
see
him
it like
off.
that going. Yeah, I watched the last 20 minutes. It was just dead. The game was gone by then.
Tough one. They've had a few changes as well, their squad, haven't they? They've had a few changes. Lost all. We've got Taki plays for us now.
Yeah.
Chris is obviously.
How good is he, by the way?
Ah, brilliant, mate. Technically.
How
joke,
good is he? Yeah.
joke, man. Doesn't even do any skill, just does
Nah.
drops the shoulder.
Yeah, just goes like that and see later
Everyone
he's
goes away
gone.
like
Yeah.
Aye, just mate. Some of the Japanese boys technically are just phenomenal. Phenomenal.
And they're fit as too.
Oh, mate, I
Just-
know. Robots, man.
Just go all day.
And how proud are they?
I know, mate.
You can tell them anything. Okay. You know, they're the best.
I but then they speak to each other in Japanese, I'm like, arsehole. That's what I was saying to one of the boys. I'm like, we just assume that Taki and Kubu are just the nicest guys ever. I was like, they could be absolute dickheads. You don't know.
Yeah,
Just assume they're
just
really
don't know,
nice.
eh?
They're just being polite all the time.
Yeah.
You assume they're all just nice people.
But yeah, no, Wollongong's lost a fair few players. Well, Jake True's gone to what?
Marconi. Yeah, that's right. So it has.
Yeah, Taki's gone to you guys.
Chris, rocked
Yeah,
up.
Chris has gone
That's
to
3 big
Rockdale.
players.
You're not there.
I've gone.
Who set himself up for that? He was nudging you, let's come on.
You called him the way he used to.
No, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're hot and cold as well this
Aye,
year.
they are, aye.
They're hot and cold. So
Well, what I think, and I only know Warring through some coaching license stuff and all that, but he's like been involved in NPL football for a while and involved in coaching for a while, so good gaffer to have in.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
try and get him playing a wee bit, and you can tell he takes it like really serious as well, which is really good because it's easy to take it as a sort of part-time job, but you can tell he takes it as a full-time job.
Of course, yeah.
But they've signed a few good players. Like Leai looks good, the boy up top.
Yeah,
Olsen
they've
looks
got
good.
Yeah, Olsen's good. Your mate.
Yeah, he's one of my best mates.
Oh, is he?
also.
Aye. He looks good.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He scored a couple goals now
He's
too,
scored-
eh?
I think he's
He
six,
scored
six
every.
or something
He
goals
scored
already.
every game.
Pretty much. Yeah.
What's he saying? How's he enjoying it there?
Yeah, he's enjoying it. You know, he likes a bit of that. Like, you know, he's a bit of like a leader there, which he's enjoying. Just said it takes time. Like, you know, they're obviously a new coach. He says like, you know, they're his way of things and stuff like that, and trying to, you know, learn that way. So he's enjoying it. So yeah, unfortunately, you know, obviously the 6-0, but we got him on the weekend, and you know, obviously, you know, when you lose 6-0,
aye.
bounce back.
Bounce back, yeah.
Which is probably, you know,
He's at home. Or
nah, we're at Macedonia Park. Have you played there?
Yeah.
Is it decent?
No.
That's Macedonia
Guys.
Park.
It's better than Albert Butler. That's
That's the worst.
That's a dark day, man.
It's on par, bro.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now imagine you're playing there
Macedonia
against
Park.
Central Coast Mariners
Bro, you're
away.
gonna launch it from the 6-yard box into the car park
Don't tell him that.
with your weapon. Bro, the small. I feel it's a small park.
What is?
Macedonia Park.
I don't know. I've played there.
I feel like it's heaps small.
Yeah, I haven't done that in years.
I
But
don't get why. Like, obviously, for them, Wollongong and Southo is like probably the derby. I think it's like closest. Why, like, they're all playing other teams that win. Like,
Yeah.
they play
Yeah.
Mariners
Yeah.
that win, but then they're not
Aye.
playing that game and win.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
I don't
You're
know.
right.
I don't know. Well, look,
You just hate the youth teams, eh?
I know. Fucking Mariners.
I get to play at Win Stadium.
Well, actually, speaking of, I actually missed that game. That was City Derby. From that, looked like Wonderless.
scoring game.
I don't think it was the most. It was a game of the week as well. Round of the week, game of the round. Sorry, and it was a red card for Sydney FC, and Wonders peppered them. But the goalkeeper for Sydney FC looked like he had a right good game.
Who was in goal?
Was it?
I can't. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. How do you pronounce his name? I don't want to fucking butcher.
Is it the blonde head kid?
How do I just butcher it?
Just butcher it.
go for it. I want to hear it.
Gonzalez. Can you just find out who's in team of the week? The NPL.
Which one is he? He doesn't win number 1, so that's gonna.
No player profile.
Hoisflit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was the highlights are basically him getting peppered.
Yeah.
For
Shooting practice.
Aye. Look, he's like fucking youth team, not interested, mate.
He's just not having it. He's not having it out.
No, to be fair, it was didn't look like a great game. Red card, just 0-0. Summed itself up, which is probably a bad score for both of them because they want to get
They're
themselves.
both going to get out of the. Well, they're both on the bottom of the ladder, eh?
Yeah.
Aye,
Both are.
No,
yeah?
I think
No,
Sydney
Sydney-
a little bit higher. I think it's Wanderers.
Oh, Wanderers and-
Wanderers and Mariners are on 5
Yeah.
points. Sydney on
Five.
and
8.
then is it
But
St
what?
George?
2 wins and then you're
above
back up to.
Yeah, exactly. Very early, but yeah, just get rid of him. I agree with you.
Right, well,
Yeah,
let's-
like I said,
You guys come up, man.
That's it, bro. Fucking bring 5 up. Come on.
we'll look at NPL Victoria. We'll look at that just quickly. Avondale won again. Played 9, won 8, lost 1 so far. That's 3 teams joint second. Oakley Cannons, Danijel Thunder and Heidelberg United all on 19 points. 5 points behind Avondale, so Avondale looking strong this year. Preston Lions did pick up a win against Melbourne Knights. Heidelberg beat Green Gully 4-1. Avondale won 3-0 against Dandenong City. Hume City lost 3-0 to Oakley Cannons. Altona Magic 0-0 with South Melbourne. South Melbourne had a very poor, I think they're mid-table.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Yeah.
They're normally always
The
up
mid-table,
there,
aye.
yeah.
Struggling,
Big
yeah.
club.
Struggling, aye. Massive club, aye. Dandenong Thunder beat Port Melbourne 5-0 and Melbourne Victory beat St Albans Saints 3-2. So, looking at NPL 2, Claude, you can guide us for the most part here, mate, if you want to walk us through. We'll start with the match of the round, Bills versus
Keep it
Clontarf.
brief, huh? The match of the round. I think they pre-choose before the season because there's no way that was match of the round. I think they just pre-pick all the match of the round. It's Bulls versus Bonnyrigg. I mean, it should have been 1 and 2 played.
Tigers versus second.
Yeah.
That's right, first versus second.
Yeah,
But,
Tigers played SD Raiders. I heard, Tigers were winning 1-0 and then Raiders scored 2 goals late. So they're top of the league and they got a game in hand against us.
Who Raiders?
Raiders, yeah. So they're doing well.
Yeah.
they started well, aye.
They're doing quite well.
They've started
That is a good club, actually. Like Nicky Carl's done a good job with the men.
Yep.
Cannuli with the women. They're both like...
Yeah, Cat's
Hey?
pretty
Gordon, the gaffer?
He's the actual gaffer, yeah.
good.
Yeah. So they're doing well. That was a big win for them. What else we got? Bankstown Derby, battle for Sefton. That's what they're going for.
They'll get paid in dollar bills.
battle for Sefton Playhouse. And I think it went to...
Team night out.
I don't know what that is.
I actually don't know.
What's what are you talking about?
It's going red over there.
I
What's
actually don't
that?
know where it
What's
is.
that?
I don't know where it is.
Oh, man.
That's one of the boys we met. I think it was actually we interview. It was your interview we did last season.
Yeah.
With Fornito.
Yeah.
When Fornito was playing with Bankstown Berries, they all went to Sefton Playhouse or something after it for schnitzel, and then after it, Fornito was just being Fornito and he's come outside and phoned his missus to pick him up and he's just standing right outside.
Yeah.
What you doing, mate?
I remember we spoke about it because I knew a gaffer, I'm not going to name names, but
That's
a
actually
gaffer
different.
that was in charge of Bankstown a few years ago and they used to do the coaches' meetings there because apparently the schnitzels are good. And I'm like, fuck off, mate. Like, you're taking the piss.
Schnitzels are
Good, eh? Surely
Yeah.
not. Surely
That's my
not.
chicken schnitzel. They know what you mean.
Anyway, Wally's side, Berries, won that one 2-0. That's a pretty big win for them, I think. And then besides that, yeah, the big one was the top of the table. We beat Spartans 5-0, which was a good win. We needed something. So that's about it, really. What else is there to say?
Granville Rage played Central
That's
Coast.
the league below now. You've gone.
What was
Oh,
the-
sorry, mate. I've just skipped.
What was the score
I
with
thought 12 teams
Bono
promoted.
MacArthur?
MacArthur beat Bono 3-1. So I think Bono's been quite up and down as well.
Yeah.
They beat us in the first
Here
round.
we go.
They're good at home.
Yeah.
They're good at
Think
home. I
about
think
these
they.
little youth teams.
Got
They
that one
need to
there.
be in the second
A
div,
Coa
eh?
and a Lions.
All of
Yeah,
them.
they shouldn't have
All
even
of
been
them.
playing Bulls. Bulls shouldn't be there either. Should they?
Get him now.
Well, mate, you're lucky actually because by all rumours I've heard that Bulls last year could have went up, but they intentionally didn't go up. I know it's said intentionally, but they 4 or 5 games to go, they played younger boys than necessary
Yeah,
because for
To
whatever reason.
to stay in that league.
I don't know the reason why, or whatever, but that's what I've heard.
I mean, in Melbourne, John Aloisi's coaching Western United first grade, and I was chatting to him about his youth, and he said the same thing. They keep their youth in NPL 2. They don't want to go to NPL 1.
Why is that?
Because he's just like,
get
to
pumped.
be fair, it's very
Slapped
physical.
He gets
Like,
slapped every game.
yeah, but I went to watch South Melbourne Preston this year.
Just
It's,
slapping everyone.
yeah, exactly. People
Literally.
like him. That's why. But it is very long ball, direct football.
Yeah.
It's not bad football. It's just very direct football, very physical. And I think for them, it's like to get them ready for the A-League, they'd rather play their way in a lower league than go up there. So that's it. So maybe Bulls the same mentality.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know,
It makes sense though if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I know
it's better. It's better.
Yeah.
Well, Craig Noon, who was there, he was a gaffer last year, and he's obviously played Championship football, Prem, and all the rest of it, and he was trying to make his way up and be a gaffer, and I think he was excited by it, but I think he realised that, what's the point? Like, he's a winner. He wants to win things.
Yeah.
He was like, well,
Yeah.
if we're going to float around here, then
Yeah, there's no point.
there's no point. Aye.
Fair.
Yeah, Inter Alcoa drew, so that's not a good result for them. Jets, actually another youth team, they drew to Mounties as well. So Jets are doing pretty good, so that was a bit of a drop points for them. And then in the league below, you want me to keep going?
Aye, right on, mate. You're
Yeah,
the man.
NPL 3?
You're the man.
You
There
want
you
to
go.
pack them all as one, yeah?
Pack it all as one, mate.
Pack it all as one. We just know that Parramatta's flying, 4-0 win against Gladesville. And you said Para, they almost beat...
It's tiring.
No, they beat Hakoa.
No, they beat Hakoa as well in the
last
cup.
night 4-2, yeah. They've been well. That's the Elrich brothers or the gaffers, yeah.
Yeah, Marco Sama scored 2 as well. He's always scoring there.
aye.
And Hurstville Zagreb!
Let's go.
Zagreb!
But they're,
Top of the
Chaz
table.
Top
said
of the
they're
table.
stacked this year.
Yeah, they've recruited a fair few. They got Mickey Neal,
Yep.
who's obviously experienced.
Yeah.
And apparently he's doing extremely well for them.
Yeah, good. They've
Then-
got Todd Roski as well, haven't they?
Yeah, I was gonna say I've heard some stories. So I'm a few mates with some of the Zagreb boys.
Yeah.
And he gets said in the changing room he's the funniest bloke.
Oh,
He's
aye,
hilarious, bro. He's the
Apparently he's got
best.
this ritual with some kid, like he puts him in a headlock before the game, and, like half chokes him out, he's on the floor like, and then he broke, and then he broke, and then, but then and then he had him, and then he broke the kid's phone because he fell, and then he had a go at him saying, "Man, you know, every week I freaking put you in a headlock."
It's his fault for having his phone on
He's
him.
like, you should know not to have your phone in your pocket.
He's fine, huh?
Yeah, but then like a couple days later, I bought him a new phone apparently. Or something like that.
He's a nice guy.
He's a
He's just
great
mental.
guy,
yeah.
He's like a lovely guy. He's just off his fucking nut, man. Off his. He done the show here. Sat in his full Wollongong United gear, and literally an hour after the show got released. So he phoned me, Gaz, you need us a favour, man. You need to edit half that. I'm like, I can't edit half the fucking show. So I had to chop like fucking 25 minutes off the episode.
Man, he's hilarious. Well, yeah, they're flying. They're top of the league as well. So they won 4-0 against South Coast Flame, which is supposed to be a good side. So 4-0 and 4-0. I think it'll be between those two, Hurstville and Parramatta. It looks like top two.
Two go up or one?
Well, the same thing, like the
as
playoff.
NPL too.
Oh, okay,
One in the
yeah.
playoff.
Get the playoff, huh?
What about Newcastle Jets? You obviously, and where are they in your league, Claude?
Yeah, they're towards the top. I think they're 4th or 5th now.
Mate, that is you. That's going to haunt you, mate. Central Coast away, Newcastle away.
Could you imagine that?
They play Sunday night.
Is it Sunday night?
Sunday night, later, like at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Nah, not about that.
Nah, it's bad.
It's a sickie.
Yeah.
COVID.
Well, look, just quickly, thanks to Lightweight Athletic for supporting the show. All listeners and anyone watching on YouTube can get 15% discount with code CFS. And YouTube, oh shit, Chaz actually gave us a person on YouTube who won the BN Sports subscription. I'll get that in a second. Blah, blah, blah.
Being sports subscription you're giving away.
Annual subscription, BN Sports gift. So if you want to get that, you just subscribe to YouTube. And the pair. Where the fuck was it? Chaz wrote this in a bit of paper. If I can't find it, they're not getting it. I'll find it later. I'll find it later on. And also, new sponsor on the show, Deploy. So good to have them on board. Obviously looking to be part of Australian Championship in some way, shape or form. And obviously a huge part of Australian youth football, Deploy, given a lot of footballs, a lot of gear. So great to have them on board of Champagne Football Show. So now we'll go on to the main event, the two big boys on the chair here. Okay, Daniel, we'll start with you, mate. Claude's going to lead it because he's obviously the professional. I'll be a bystander.
Am I leading it?
You're leading it.
Well, you know what I'm going to start with, just for the guys at home that want to know, what's game day look like for you? From the morning, you get up, what do you eat?
Game day? Probably get up about like 9:30.
Yeah.
Chill in bed for half an hour or so.
Yeah.
And then just get up, have a shower. I normally go for a walk, get a coffee.
So you don't eat breakfast there? You just get up?
I go for a walk, have a coffee. Depending obviously what time the game is.
Yeah.
And then say if it's like a 3 o'clock game,
Yeah.
I'll go for a walk, blah, blah, blah. And then just chill out, stretch a bit. And then probably around 11 or so, 11:30, I'll have some breakfast.
Yeah.
Maybe either like some Wheat Bix or
Yeah.
some toast, poached eggs or something like that. And then that's it. That's all I eat. I don't eat much before a game.
Yeah.
And then I just get another coffee for the drive.
Yeah.
And then I'll have just a muesli bar and then that's
So the whole day you've just had coffee and music.
Well, you're all about the nutrition.
No, then I have either, like,
I mean, a goalkeeper, but
I'll have a
The
couple
goalkeepers
of
don't really matter. Just
were
catch the ball, bro.
Just sport, man.
Just catch the ball.
Catch them.
No, but so with goalkeepers, so with keepers, though, but like training's well harder than a game physically, obviously.
Yeah.
But mentally, understand concentration levels, etc. for a game, and obviously you've got the competitive element, but training's well harder. Like some of the training is wild, and in a game,
You get
depending on how
nothing.
you play. Like last night, you hardly touched the ball probably.
Nah.
So it's
Smoke
so obviously
cigars.
it's a completely different game day prep altogether.
Yeah.
And you're all off your fucking nut. Let's be honest.
You have to be.
Goalkeepers are wild, man. Let's be honest.
Something going on.
Aye, he's all mental.
Yeah.
He's that's why he's all hanging about together. Because no one gets you.
It's true. It's true. And Ved, for you, like playing all through your career, different levels, did you always prepare the same for a game?
Yeah, I tried to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Still, sometime like in my career where I was so on the superstition bandwagon.
Yeah.
That, like everything I did had to be the same next week. Like,
Yeah.
but then I started weeding it out. Like, fun fact, I still got these. So I used to play all my games. For anyone that needs to know, I used to play with red undies.
Okay.
Did you? Eh?
I still
Y
got
bob, as in Y fronts.
yeah, just like the bonds,
Okay.
just the bonds, and I still got the pair that I played with.
Oh yeah.
still got
So it was
that.
one pair your whole career? No.
pair.
No.
Yeah, I tried to.
Since
Yeah.
They lasted
They're
the
all-
whole
they're all
way.
ripped and shit. Like, they're all ripped everywhere. And I was like, I need those undies.
Are these
I need those undies.
Is that
yeah.
from like under nines but still fitting you?
Potentially, yeah. Well,
Just at the front.
question mark. at that.
And you got to sew
Put a
them up.
sock in there.
That's a long time, bro, for
Yeah,
one pair
so
of
when
undies.
yeah, so they've lasted me ages. I still got them at home actually. But yeah, that was one of my biggest ones. I needed red undies.
Yeah.
And then, there was one time in where were we? I think we were in Wellington or somewhere, and my kit man forgot my red undies. And I was like, bro, you need to go to the shop and get red undies.
Oh really?
Like,
Oh,
you
so
need
it
to
could be
you
any
need to
red
go.
undies?
Yeah, well, I needed red undies. Like, you need to go now, bro. Like, he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, bro. Like,
Imagine him
I
on the
can't
way.
play with
I'm
red
not
undies.
playing, yeah.
I'm telling the coach now I can't play because I don't have my red undies.
Imagine him on the way to the shop on his phone to his missus. How's work going? I'm on the way to buy a pair of red pants.
Well, so he went and got him. And
How'd you go?
Yeah.
Lost you now.
I don't even know, but probably, yeah. Wellington, yeah. I try to keep it the same every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed that like as soon as you go down that superstition side,
it's hard to get with it.
Yeah, like put on your right sock before you put on your left sock, and it's just like.
It's too much.
And I was like, yeah, it was too much at one point, so I just like scrapped everything, and I was
Yeah.
like, fuck,
Have you got any superstitions?
just go with it.
Yeah, just before kickoff, I'll eat half a banana, and then the second half, and
rest
then
of
just
it
before the second half starts, I'll eat the other half of the banana.
Oh yeah.
Exactly a half. Just
Exactly half. I get the ruler out, measure it.
you get any?
I'm the same. I always tried not to do it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
like
same, I
I'm
don't
Italian
really.
background, same thing, man. You grow up with so many fucking superstitions that your
Yeah.
parents give you and stuff. You try to just get rid of them because, like you said, you end up psyching yourself out before
Yeah,
kickoff.
like
if
I had to
something
make
goes
sure
wrong.
like boots were like there, then like shin pads and the gloves, like everything
Yeah.
was set out,
Yeah.
like
That's a bit
proper.
sick, bro.
Yeah, it was sickening. Yeah,
Mate, told
and like
you
when it
goalkeepers,
wasn't,
mate.
I was like,
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Head wrapped
oh, we're
your
gonna lose
back.
today.
Yeah,
We're losing today.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that was
you
it. And I
can't.
was like,
What
nah, I
about
gotta-
any other boys you played with who had mad superstition, or even you? Did you have any boys who in a team you think, what, this guy's a lunatic?
not as bad as yeah.
I mean, headlocks before the game. You just told
Headlock,
us.
yeah.
Yeah, the headlock.
Todorowski before the game.
Headlocks.
Headlocks. That's pretty
headlocks,
bad.
Yeah,
That's gonna be one of the worst ones I've heard of.
Yeah.
Hey,
What was it? Let's go. What was on Paul Gascoigne and
Yeah, with touching the
grab whose dick was it?
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand,
yeah.
oh yeah,
Before every game, I had to grab it. Aye.
all good. Though.
Fuck.
You know what? You hear those stories that old generation.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff, man.
Yeah.
Mate, one of the best stories with Gascoigne,
best.
man, was so funny. Was playing. I can't remember who he was with at the time. So they're playing, I don't know, rondos or fives or whatever at training, and the balls went well over the fence. So Gaz's ran across, jumped over the fence to get it. The boys are all waiting. Does he come back? The fuck? So Gaz just goes home. Wait from him. So then the next day, the boys are all there. Gaz is not at training. And I'm like, where the fuck is he? Then Gaza runs back from the way he came from, wearing the same training, giving the ball, going, get the ball, boys.
One day later,
Jesus. Not surprised. The stories are amazing from him, mate.
Oh, yeah,
Not
this was a
surprised.
class, man.
There's another question from Chaz here. Favorite movie of all time for both of you?
all time.
Oh,
time.
Chaz usually asks, right, so you've got one film to watch and you've got one snack you can eat during the film. Chaz always wants to know this, so what would you go with? What film would you watch and what would you be
For
eating?
me, it's got to be Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Good
Dumb
shot.
and Dumber and
Oh, good film.
Maltesers.
Oh, I
Yeah,
take it.
nice.
How are you eating your Maltesers, but are you sucking them or just chewing fuck?
No, I'm just.
Maltesers in popcorn. You ever done that?
Yes.
Decent.
That's
It's very decent.
absolutely
Aye.
top,
Someone
yeah.
last week said they do M&Ms in popcorn.
I wouldn't say it would be the same. It wouldn't be the
I've tried
same.
it.
Too
It's
small.
not the same, mate.
You get through the
Yeah,
cracks.
it's
you know?
at the bottom, mate.
Yeah,
just get
you're
One
like-
shake of the popcorn and
you're
you're gone.
fucked. Yeah,
Gone.
yeah.
One false move.
Yeah. What about yours?
Probably like Step Brothers. It's
Oh,
always
I
funny.
said Step Brothers,
Yeah, everyone says it, but it's
That's class,
funny one,
but
yeah. And then I like grain waves.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Rainway.
Grain waves are good.
Yeah.
Grain waves, you know the
Underrated.
chips, the
Oh,
wet,
right, okay.
like a little bit better for you,
Underrated.
maybe. I don't know if they are.
I don't know.
Nah?
I don't know. No idea.
Fuck, we got to get you a pack.
You haven't tried it?
Rain waves.
Grain
Grain
waves.
Oh,
Grain
grain
waves.
waves.
You
Oh,
haven't-
I know what they are. I was
Yeah.
grain waves. I'm like, grain waves? What the fuck is that?
You're the one that's hard to understand, see? He's not, you're the
It's
one
that
that...
accent, mate. Can't take that. Okay, I know what that is. I.
And any hidden talents or any skills that no one knows
That's a new
about?
question. TK.
Top fisherman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Fisherman, aye.
I actually got a photo of you in that fucking big ass thing that you
Yeah, what have you
bought,
caught?
Oh, I go for everything. I go like
Not
go for
fucking
sharks.
football, that's for sure.
Shit.
Fair fake odds. Don't mean that one.
I didn't set him up for that. I swear I didn't know that was coming. That's good, bro. Fisherman. Fuck.
Yeah, it's good. You know what it is? It's just I don't know, man. Just sometimes like in the world, there's a lot of shit on land, and then you're just out on the boat. It's just
Switch
Shit,
off.
chill.
it's peace, quiet. You don't think of anything, man. Just it's nice being out there. It's good for my head. Like
That's
Do you
good.
go yourself or do you go with
I go
mates?
by myself a
Aye,
lot.
brilliant.
Yeah, and when my brother
Still
came,
waiting for the
I go with my
invite.
brother.
eh?
He wants to get away from you, bro. That's why he goes out there.
I
He just wants to be away.
Insta story is just water, peace.
You don't find it hard fishing with goalie gloves on? It's not hard. What gloves do you boys wear? Is that a big thing? Obviously, is it like, does the brand make a massive difference? Because players with football boots, in fact, it's another question, with football boots with goalkeepers, do you give a fuck that much with your boots?
Nah,
or is it no gloves?
Boots don't give a shit.
Aye.
Gloves, I think just you normally say example like now my goal coach Nathan, he has his own brand. He's got me onto them, and I've been using them.
What brand's it?
Saved.
Saved through, okay.
And they've been good. And then it's just what it is as well. I think like every different glove is like different. Different feel, different all that sort of stuff. So I think it's like you use one glove and you want to keep using. So training using the same as you're playing with, and you don't want to be changing too often because it does take a little bit of time to sort of get used to that.
Yeah, just
glove.
the whole feel, like when your hands inside
Yeah.
it, like it just feels.
Do you go through it? Because Chaz said he goes through like 7 pairs a year because it's synthetic. He goes goalkeeping coaching as well. He says just like, just obviously, like boots you can have a bit of wear and tear, but if you get too much in it,
Just one little. And you're gone.
No, I
Ruins the whole fucking thing.
it's not a superstition thing, but I'm every 2-3 games I play a new pair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I go through a lot of year.
so you change gloves every 3 games.
Yeah, so then I'll say every 3 games, and then I'll use that for training. My new pair.
So what do you
For
do
the
with the pair? You're on like pair number 3. What happened to pair number 1? Is that just?
Yeah.
Nah. I give them to my little brother to use.
Oh, okay.
Because you
Is it
think
goalkeep-
it's a grip thing, so that makes sense. Like if you get in your own head if it's losing
Yeah,
losing
but I think
grip.
Oh, I get it,
like,
I get it.
for me, like when I see, like Chaz says with the Astro,
Yeah.
you get those like things, like it takes a little bit off the grip off the thing.
Yeah.
And if I see that in my head, I can't.
Yeah, I get it.
Wig yourself out.
I
yeah.
need it needs to be nice and clean.
Yeah.
If there's a little thing on it,
Done.
Done.
Bin.
The grip is massive, yeah. But you know what spins me out still to this day? Vaseline on gloves.
Vaseline, yeah.
People do that.
You would think
Yeah,
that it
yeah.
would make it slippery, right?
It has the opposite effect.
Super glue.
Especially
Oh,
in the
yeah?
rain. In the rain, you put Vaseline,
Oh really?
Yeah.
you're catching everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's.
Why does no goalkeeper do that?
They do. In the Prem, they do.
Yeah. So
But
They
why-
just, you'll
on
see
NPL?
like a big tub and it'll just
Yeah.
go like that.
Do you do it?
yeah, I do it here, but I got it from England when I was there. The goalkeeper used to always bring the Vaso. It's always rained.
You laugh. Oh, just
That
initiation.
first time, yeah. First time,
I was taking a piss.
What kind of club is it?
Yeah, like
It's a
Vaseline
ritual,
on
mate.
glove, yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah. Right.
they coated on.
Yeah, but yeah, you would think that the ball's just gonna slip
that is
out,
wild,
and
yeah.
it just sticks. It's literally super glue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Gloves? What gloves did you wear?
I wore Yule Sport
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
throughout my career. What else? Adidas at one point.
Remember the Adidas finger saves? Remember them?
Yeah, yuck.
What were they?
I've never worn
That, was that just? Did
hence
you,
my fingers are.
Oh, what? Like they had the thing that.
fucking hell.
Yeah, the other thing your fingers can't go back.
Yeah, but that would limit you,
That
wouldn't
one's
it?
been
Oh,
limit you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that one's gone. That
That
pinky
one's
is
gone.
gone,
That
mate.
was finished. That was in Adelaide, Cooper Stadium. Warm up. Straight, like I went for a low ball, got caught in the grass,
Oh,
and
that's
just
nasty.
went, boom,
Fuck.
ran back in the change rooms. Just
Oh, and you played.
yeah, I played, of course.
We're a different breed. us
Respect.
kids.
No, exactly right. Exactly right. That's the old generation. The kids today would be out for 6 weeks with that. But that leads me nicely because you were talking about your time in England. Let's talk careers and some of the best players, some of the best coaches and things like that. But for people that don't know, because you're at Southo now, it's been a long road.
Yeah.
And it's still going.
Yeah,
still young. Could take you anywhere. But tell me, because you went youth football?
Yep.
You-
Helsinki. So I started with like 6s to like 10s, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Helsinki Zagreb.
Zagreb.
My local club.
Yeah.
And then went to St. George for like the rep.
Yeah.
I think it was reps at the time, whatever.
Yeah.
And then went to Sutherland. So I played Sutherland 13s, 14s.
Mad.
And then went to NSW, the institute,
Yeah.
which was good. And then my dad got a phone call one day. It was a weird one. Got a phone call from some guy. He's like, "Oh, want to come to England to Portsmouth?" And my dad thought at the time there was a lot of people calling, we give you 10 grand. There's a trial here. And my dad's old school, man. He's like, whatever. Hangs up the phone. The guy calls again. Whatever. And he calls again. The guy goes like, "Listen, mate, we'll pay for your flights. Just when can you come?"
It's legit, yeah.
And then when he found that pay, he was like, "Okay, this is, And then I went to Portsmouth, which was good. And then stayed there for the year.
Yeah.
And they went through administration. So a really bad time there.
So where were they when you went?
Championship.
Okay.
So what age group was that?
So I ended up going. They went to administration. I was second choice there in the championship, but I hadn't got my visa yet. So I used to literally go warm up, travel, warm up. I couldn't be on the bench league.
Wow.
Actually,
By the way,
something
what
happened.
a crowd they get at games.
Oh, Fratton Park. It's
Unbelievable.
unbelievable. Unbelievable. Into all the crap, it was always sell out. And it's an old stadium, tin.
Yeah.
It was
David James was gone by then, right?
Who?
David James was
Yeah,
gone.
David James was gone.
He was gone.
Tal Ben-Ain was still there.
Oh, Ben-Ain, yeah.
Kanu was still there.
Yeah.
Steve Cottrell was the manager.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
okay.
then Michael Appleton took over.
Yeah.
And then Jamie Armstrong was the goalkeeper.
Okay.
Do you remember?
I don't remember
He
him
was
now.
Irish.
Irish. I don't know, Jimmy Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so then that happened, and then it was actually a weird one because I was at Portsmouth. I was loving it. Obviously, 16-year-old kid in around the first grade, traveling with them all the time, and they really looked after me, the boys in the club. And then I got a thing to go up to Liverpool to go train. So I was literally on my way to the airport to go with Portsmouth to a game. I got told to not get on the plane. I'm a 16-year-old kid, so obviously I'm listening to people. Back then I probably shouldn't have done it the way I did it.
Yeah.
And then anyway, ended up running out of the airport, getting phone calls. Where are you?
The last episode of
what's going
Friends.
on? Yeah. Fuck. And then I had some guy come pick me up. Packed a bag back at my place and took me out to Liverpool. And again, Liverpool I enjoyed it obviously. And then I trained with Steven Gerrard. I got to experience that. But I was on Skype crying every day.
Why?
Because it was just because the way I left Portsmouth, because of my visa.
So were they
I wasn't
dirty
even
at you
getting
for
paid
that?
there, nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was there, but because of my visa, I couldn't sign a contract. But
Yeah.
they gave me everything, treated me put me up.
Oh, you felt you'd done them over?
Yeah, I did it over, and I just got really it was in a really really bad way. And then Burnley, that's when Burnley found out was listen, come just spend a couple of days here.
So how long? Sorry to interrupt. How long were you at Liverpool?
I was in Liverpool for the week, and then they knew I was a bit thinking. They said go home, come back, and you can keep training. And then Burnley said, listen, just come for a couple of days, and that's when Eddie Howe was there.
Oh, class.
And again, it was a very similar feel. It was a smaller club, and they really it was a family feel. And then after 3 days, they just said here's a 3 or 4 year deal, and then go home and spend as much time as you want.
How good's that?
So ended up taking out Burnley, and it was a good experience. I got there again. I was training with the first grade. Eddie Howe, he was a good manager. He was really good for the young players. He's a big believer of playing youth and stuff.
I was going to ask you. I was listening to was it the Overlap I was listening to recently? No, it wasn't. It was a different podcast I was listening to. But they're talking about to Dwight Gale, and he worked under Eddie Howe, and he was just telling some mad stories about how the unique ways Eddie Howe had in terms of getting people to talk. They had a thing where every player had to go up in front of the team and talk about their story, basically where they came from. Maybe this is a new thing at Newcastle. And they do a thing at training as well, where every game they do at training is worth a point. So basically, there's a leaderboard. The whole so make training competitive. So like if you your team wins a rondo, but Claudia's in the group, you get a point because you won the rondo. And I don't know who's tallying it all up. But I think there's like money prizes and all the rest of it. So he said it's these small things, obviously,
That's great.
all make day-to-day life as a full-time pro fun. But he seems like a guy who's obviously on the pitch is good, but off the pitch seems like a guy who's pretty clever and try to find wee unique ways to get the most out of people.
Yeah. So he was really good. Like, you know, he got a lot of young boys up there with him and stuff like that. And then he ended up pretty sure he got sacked or he walked. I think it was a bit of a mutual. Like they weren't really doing well. And then Sean Dyche came in.
Oh, did you?
He's a different breed, man.
Go on, give us a dicey story, surely.
Nothing. He's just the guy. Like you see, walk down the corridor. Like you're walking the corridor. You just put your head down and just.
You don't talk to him,
And
huh?
it wasn't just as a young lad. It was the older boys. Like he was just a man that was just terrible. Like
Looks like a school teacher, man.
Yeah.
He was. He like Hitler, man. Like fuck. Yeah. And he was strict. And he as soon as he came in, like Eddie Howe was very like he allowed things sort of off the pitch. Like boys sort of in the gym do what they want. Like, sort of that kind of. At the time, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Sean Dyche gets the job. First day, table tennis. You see it in the skip bin.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly?
All this stuff, dartboards in the skip bin. He cleaned it out, and it was like, your fun is you go do gym, So he brought that different thing in, and example like training. So we all had to train with shin pads on, because you train like you play. So boys were fucking flying into tackles.
Yeah.
Boys be flying into tackles. And you think as a coach sometimes you go, oh shit, like fuck, is he fucked? He's like, yeah. He's losing it, like loving it, like this guy flying into like a five-a-side, like smashing this guy. Because he was a big believer, like you train like you play.
I get it.
So the intensity was
No
always
right
so
or
high.
wrong.
Yeah. And then so it was there, it was good. Went on loan for a few times. Went on loan to Crew. And then some of the conference teams, just to get some games.
How did you find the standard, like going from Burnley, Portsmouth, and then going into like, the conference? Did you see what was the biggest differences you found?
Probably just the physical aspect. Like technically, the pitches were shit.
Yeah.
But it was just get hammered. It was just long ball, direct. Every team had a big 6'4", 6'5" striker that could just hold the ball up, bounce it off, get crosses in. So that was probably the bit like the difference, just the real like physicality, and some of the tackles that used to come flying in there and ref play on mate, in the A-League, man, it'd be freaking 20 weeks suspension. And then Burnley, Sean Dyche was another one. He was all about experience, older guys and stuff like that. And I sort of knew that I was never going to get the opportunity there. And then went to Morecambe.
Nice place, that.
Shrimps, huh?
Yeah,
Nice place.
yeah.
I went there a few
Yeah,
times.
it's nice. It's a nice place. It's a very, again, it's more like a family place.
Yeah,
I'd say, nice and close. And that was good. Played a few games. And then after the second year, Wanderers called Josip Gombau at the time. He was my under-23s Australian coach. And then Morecambe offered me a new deal. But then, my brother, he got married, had a baby. Like, my nephew was 10 months old, never met him. And it was just sort of like that. And I was just like...
So was 16 you left?
You just want to come join me.
16 you were when you left?
At 16, I left.
And how old are you at this point?
23.
Okay, it's a big chunk.
So, I've been there for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then, I just sort of... I don't know. I look back to make a decision, think, should I have stayed at Morecambe instead of coming to Wanderers? Because obviously, Wanderers didn't work out. I don't know, but no, I have no regrets.
Did you have any options at Morecambe was there anybody sniffing about at different leagues where you still have options to go to a different club or anything like that if you're going to extend your contract there?
No, I don't know. To be honest with you, Morecambe had offered me the new deal, and then Gombau had offered, so I wasn't really looking. I had the two offers, so I wasn't really... And again, it was hard because I was still quite young, and so I hadn't played a lot of games. I think I played maybe 20 games for Morecambe in the league over the 2 years. But yeah, made the decision to come to Wanderers.
You two link up at that point?
Yeah.
Took him
like, fucking this guy, coming,
You took him fishing, didn't you?
Right.
Took you fishing?
Yeah, you're trying to drown me. You're trying to drown me.
I tried to. Yeah.
Fucking mafia scene.
You know what though? You have,
I needed some burley.
you have a laugh about that, but like I always wondered that, and I've spoken to a lot of keepers about that relationship. Must be hard. And you hear stories of like some of them become best friends, 1 and 2, and some of them fucking hate each other. So it's like, how do you balance that? Like in your career, you would have experienced some in England maybe treat you like shit, and some that take you under their wing. Like how does that go as a keeper?
I think it depends on like the people. Obviously, like we've all had probably goalkeepers with us that are, serve the ball shit. On
purpose,
like if you're playing, like don't give you the right stuff, just help you perform. Yeah, there's shit people out there. There's shit people out there.
Yeah,
So shit.
It's so shit, man.
yeah,
But like I think like say with us, as soon as I came in, we clicked pretty much straight away.
Straight
like,
away,
we
banter.
Yeah, like we both wanted the spot.
Yeah.
But it was like he played. I was, I still didn't ever try to fuck him up or anything.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that.
I don't know of.
Like, generally, like,
You
support each other.
You
He makes a good save, you're happy.
He was the guy who stole your red pants. That was him.
but yeah, and then even at Bulls with Curto, I'm really good friends with him. I still, we go for coffee. I had my birthday party not long ago. He was at my house on my birthday. So yeah, I think there's a lot of the goalkeepers do. It's a different we're away from the team.
Yeah.
So we're almost like our own little team.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely some shit people out there.
That's weird with that. I don't know. I mean, I only notice it from, say, Spirit, for instance. If your keeper makes a good save, the sub-keeper's always on the bench, going, "Oh, fucking brilliant, can I say?" I love that.
It's good. You want that.
He's hardly played any minutes at all, and he's buzzing that he's playing well.
Yeah.
I mean, as a
That's
coach,
what
you're
you want.
fucking superb, man.
100%. That's what you want.
But I've never really thought about the opposite. I just assumed they'd always be good mates because they're always together. But
I've heard some
There'll be
stories, man.
goalkeepers I'm telling you now sitting on the bench when a keeper makes a mistake.
yes.
Going, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Get in there.
Yeah.
And I'd never ever have thought like that because I always think that if I think like that, Karma will fucking get me in the arse. Because then when I go and I fuck up, then it's gonna be like, see when I laugh to someone, or you know what I mean. I was like, yes, thank God he did that.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, nah.
Yeah,
we were that good of mates that I actually got sent off for him to go on and make his debut.
Yeah.
You did it on purpose, huh?
I don't know if you ended my career or
Well, because then you've then had a run NPL back in the A-League. We'll pause that for a sec because you then met him at Wanderers, but you were on your own journey before that.
Yeah, our fucking stories are so different.
Yeah. Like a lot of your
Don't expect anything like that.
Well, no, a lot of your career in Australia, but like such a successful A-League career. Everyone knows you as an A-League goalkeeper, very successful goal. Do you ever look back and wish you had a crack? I mean, I know you went to Croatia for a bit.
Yeah, I played in Croatia for a bit.
But did you, when you then were an established goalkeeper, is there a piece of you, or did you ever have a chance to maybe jump?
I was in the middle of talking to like a Saudi team at one point, and I thought, oh, yeah, okay. And then a Turkish team came when I was still at Sydney.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, you don't know when you're gonna get there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I heard so many like stories of, fuck, you get there and then you get shafted.
Yeah.
2 weeks later and
the Vaseline comes out.
yeah, I'm like, Vaseline's everywhere. And I was like, nah, you know what? I'll just stay here. Like it's whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, never really. I really wanted to play in MLS for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
bad
why.
place to go, is it?
Yeah,
But,
I don't know why, but like I wanted to play there bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
you try
Only
it?
place I want to go.
but did you try? Did you tweet an agent? or?
Not really. Like to be honest, like I was just like I had a couple of chats with agents, but nothing really came out like from it.
Yeah.
Because back then it was like, so I was still at Sydney then, and you needed like all these like requirements to actually go to the MLS because they got the draft system and stuff. You need to play like 75% of games for your country. You had to have started that. There was all other little bits and pieces that you needed to meet. But I was like, no, I'll never get that because I'm not playing for the Australian team. So
But it's also tough from a goalkeeper because it's such a unique position. You've only got maybe 3 in a squad.
Yeah.
Most pro squads.
well, we were speaking about it the other day. It's like you look at all the top leagues and you can probably count all the goalkeepers. You know,
Yeah.
Like you can put them in a pool.
Yeah.
And that's like every top league in the world. So it's like
Mental.
So
it's
hard, eh?
so like it's such a
That's just
specific.
class.
like everyone wants to
position,
play. Everyone's probably Premier League's probably one of the biggest leagues that everyone wants to play for.
course, yeah.
How many teams are there? There's what
20.
20 teams.
20
and
teams.
20
There's only
keepers
20 goalkeepers
That are
like realistically
playing.
in the whole
playing,
world
yeah.
that can
Yeah.
like play in that league.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously outfielders.
yeah.
I know.
You know.
That's what I was going to say there. Like for you lads, both having a taste of professional football and obviously like a good taste of it. Fair play to you, man. Because if you really narrow down the numbers like you always say to like young kids who put so much effort into being a professional player, usually outfielder. What's that stat always kicks about? It's like 0.09%, something like that.
Yeah.
What the fuck is it for a goalkeeper?
It's got to be even less. It's got to be far less. Yeah. You think so?
You see, like the Premier League in that, like they have their set number 1, and then they have a decent number 2. But if they say their 2 is not, they'll go and spend 30-40 million and get the one from someone in Italy playing
and just
top
interchange
Italy.
them.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What about Carson? He's at the best Man City.
Yeah.
He's at the best life.
what a
ever.
career, right?
Fourth choice.
A job and a half.
Unreal.
The best.
Guys getting paid a Mozart.
Yeah.
20
To sit
years
there.
just floating around, just feeding balls in, loving it. That's
Yeah.
class,
But you
man.
see the
His
story with
service
him and
must be
Edison, how they're like,
No, I've not seen it.
Edison wants him there. He's a big reason why I think Carson's still there.
Is it? Aye?
Because Edison and Carson are like this.
Oh, really?
So every time apparently anywhere they go, all he looks for is where's
Carson?
Carson. He wants Carson with him.
What's the fun? Just unbelievable banter.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
think so. I don't know what it is, but it's like
must
he looks
hold
at
the
Carson as like his dad.
Yeah,
And
wow.
Carson literally
Alright.
just
Yeah.
he always like he will like say apparently like there's a thing saying like say they have lunch, they sit down and someone goes to sit there. No. Carson sits.
Carson sits next to him.
Carson has to sit next to him.
He's his translator as well, maybe. That's hectic. But like the one thing I've seen, like speaking to a lot of people overseas that don't know much about Australian football, when you talk to them, are we from Australia? Whatever, a lot of them kind of shit on players from this part of town, but not goalkeepers. I feel like Aussie goalkeepers have a certain rep.
Goalkeepers,
I mean,
eh?
Chaz put that all week. Let's talk about like MPL. We just MPL. Like standard of goalkeeping. Like every team's got a right good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Right good goalkeeper.
I think we are
Decent,
like
yeah.
we have a bit of rep internationally for having goalkeepers. It probably helps when
Even,
you were going overseas. Even like the fact that you've had the Bosniches and the Schwartzes and Kalaches come through probably helps when young players go over there. But for you, so you worked your ass off to get into the A League because you had little stints. What, Brisbane, Melbourne Heart,
Yeah. It's only like little bits and bobs.
little bits to get up from Sydney United to the A League, and then you
Yeah.
got it at Sydney FC. You go to your Instagram, nothing Sydney FC, like it didn't exist, like it didn't happen.
Yeah, it was a pretty poor way at the end of the day.
Yeah, amazing. Like, how does that go? 5 years you were at Sydney,
6, I think.
and then what happens? How do you go from Sydney to Wanderers?
Well, big part of it was Spider went from
Yeah.
Sydney to Wanderers.
Okay.
And then I had another goalkeeper coach. And we were rolling on to, I think it was the next season. And I was speaking to the current coach there. And he was like, yeah, you're our number 1, this and that and the other. And I said, oh, no worries, like, all good, like, good to know. Thanks for having a chat. We talk regularly. Keep in touch with everyone there. And then we were about to start pre-season. I think we'd done pre-season. I think the season would have started in like 2 or 3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
And we're all hanging out like this in our little room upstairs. TV's on, boys are mucking around, boys are making breakfast, whatever. Everyone's chilling out before training. And then news pops up and just down the bottom, Danijel Vukovic signs for Sydney
Oh,
FC.
Vukovic, yeah.
And I'm reading it and everyone's looking at me and I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, what do you want me to do? Like,
Yeah.
Like, and then the door opens and it's like, oh, can we have a chat? And I'm like, I was like, yeah, well, I already know.
It's
Like,
shit to hear
I
at
already
first.
know. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, look, we didn't know, but we thought we got to get someone in to push this, that. And I said, oh, fair enough. You didn't know this was happening 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, like when we had the chat, or
Yeah.
like, oh, it's very sudden. And I was like, oh, well,
I hate the bullshit stuff.
you know what I mean? Yeah, like just tell me how it is. You know what I
I
mean?
just fucking watched it on the telly.
Just send it there. Like, I spoke to you like not long ago, and you said, "No, all good. Like,
Aye.
not signing anyone. This, that, and boom, like in big red, like bold, like."
Yeah.
And then don't get me wrong, Vuka's an unbelievable guy. Nothing against him at all, but it was just the way everything happened, and I was just I felt a bit hard done by. Like I was there for like 5-6 years, whatever, and I was just like, fuck, like. All right, whatever, like it is what it is. You go to training and you keep training. But I feel like the keeper coach we had at the time was besties with them because they've known each other.
And you
for
didn't
a
have a
while.
rapport because you were used to Spider.
Yeah,
so
my technique, the way we did everything, the way he wanted me to do things was literally 180.
Yeah.
So then I'd sit down with him, I'd say, listen, coach, X, Y, and Z, like I'm not understanding, I'm not getting it, like, I've been doing this for so long and now I've got to do this. And it's like very hard for me to get that, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't just change.
This is not for a goalkeeping perspective because it is very skill based, like the technique of it. So if you're an older player and you've learned your whole way of doing things, it's very difficult for a coach to go, right, now change everything.
Well,
Like, it's fucking hard,
like
that,
that,
isn't it?
especially like a goalkeeping technique, right?
That's what I mean. Like, it's
And
like
how you do things, and
change how
mentally
you
how
run
you
at
think
32
about
years
things,
old.
yeah.
You're like, oh, fuck, I don't
Yeah,
know how I
it
can do
was
that.
But
so
you
hard
can't
for
change
me.
at that age. You can't change.
That's it. I mean,
You
that's,
can't, eh?
dude, that's a bit like goalkeeping. You're doing it every single day. I understand like them going, right, I love how you do that. It's not how I do it, but it works for you. But maybe try this as well, as
Yeah.
opposed to
Change you as an
it.
adult.
Like, what? I got to here because I've been doing this.
Yeah.
So why the fuck would I
Well, that's
change?
the thing, yeah. So like my mentality and the way I saw goalkeeping and the way I did things was like just, you know, like I was just go get the balls there, just go and dive at it, just go get it. Like, so I had to kind of like step back from that and then try to do what he wanted me to do, and it never linked up, eh? Like,
Yeah,
and I was
right.
just like, I was nor here nor there in the end, and I just felt like, fuck, like I don't even know how to be a goalkeeper anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
doing that.
Your
I'm
head
not
was
doing this.
overthinking it.
Yeah, it was
Ah,
gone.
okay.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm getting caught half. I'm coming out, but then I'm pausing, and then I'm not. And the ball's just going past me. I'm like,
Oh shit.
am I even
Second-guess
doing
yourself.
like? What's the point of being here? So then I was like, look, I'm actually not happy here anymore. Like, I think I need to go. And they were like, oh, look, no, we want to. And that was a whole different ordeal as well. And then I think I actually stepped away from like the team for like 4 or 5 weeks. I was just at home, just to clear my head.
Yep.
And then that's when the whole thing happened. I think it was like halfway through the season. I got the call, like, do you want to go to the Wanderers? Obviously, Spider was there. Redmayne was having his own ordeal because he was...
Because you guys
the
swapped,
opposite.
didn't you?
Yeah,
You swapped.
So Redmayne was opposite. Spider went there and wanted him kind of to do what he taught me.
Yeah, right.
But he was struggling.
okay.
Yeah.
So he was leaking goals. I was like, I felt like,
Yeah.
fuck, you know what? I'm not even a goalkeeper anymore.
Yeah.
Like, fuck's going on?
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, makes perfect sense because he can go with his old coach or whatever, and I can go there and fuck, no biggie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at least mentally you feel happy, like you know that you're going to a place where it wasn't even about the teams then. It was just more about like, fuck, this is my job. Like this is, you know what I mean? It's my career. Like, and I was going like pretty good. So I was like, fuck, man, like I need to get back on the
back to that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was working with him, so I'll go team up with him
Yeah,
again.
that was pretty much it. There was no there was nothing else behind it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So then mid season we did the swap and it was fucking.
Did you expect that response to it? Did you know
Yes and no.
you were in for something
Yes
like
and no, because you know you see around the world like it's probably not as big, but
that?
big teams around the world when you got player switching and you just cop shit.
You're a fucking snake, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
That was iconic, right? Have you seen that?
As I say, I'm not. There's somebody in this building who's a massive Sydney FC fan. It's not me. Who says, "Who have you got on today?" And I says, "I told who it was." He went, "Oh, I'm pretty sure I threw a rubber snake at him."
Probably, yeah. There was fucking hundreds of them coming.
That was
And I
good
like-
banter, but from the crowd. That's an
actually
iconic.
I've not seen it.
Have you never seen
They're
it?
just
All these rubber snakes on
That was
where he was
actually
in the
alright.
goal, like just
Yeah.
landed on him because they've thrown it from
was
the.
like hanging by the net and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually that was my second game back. First game, it was against City, and then the second game was a derby.
Yeah,
And how did you respond? As in, like, internally when that was happening?
I just loved it. Like
Yeah.
it was like
that's great.
you
Dived off
got
a bit.
to soak it in.
You
right?
have to, you
You
have
got to
to.
soak it in. So
At
I
that
was just
point.
like, I walked to the goal, done my you put your stuff down, and I just looked up, and everyone was just fucking. Oh, brilliant! And throwing snakes and whatnot. Some guy had my jersey there. His snake was written on it. It was just like I just gave him like a stare, like you know what I mean. And then I remember just turning around and like there was a camera in my face. I didn't expect the camera to be there, so I just laughed. I smiled a bit, and I was like, whatever, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean. But then like even months on end, even now, like I'll go somewhere and people will be like, oh yeah, fucking snake. Yeah. Snake noises and shit. I'm like, fucking hell.
That's like you said, like, I don't fucking get it, man. Like, in the day, it's your job.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, that's your team and stuff like that. But even if, like, not in that situation of, like, you know, the different goalkeeper coaches and stuff like that, that's why the swap happened.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, say, example, if it was for money, right? You went for someone offered you this and this, you're not gonna stay there, you're gonna go to them. If that's the rival, that's the rival because you gotta look after yourself.
Yeah.
And then,
It's
you know,
a
so for them, they're snake or this or whatever. But then it's like, you'd fucking do the same thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone
you're telling me you
would.
take less.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah. But do you
Wouldn't
know
give a
what?
shit.
Do you know what? From the outside, it's so good that these stories happen in football. As long as it doesn't go overboard and it's like getting to the point where it's threatening to you or to your family.
I'm
or
throwing
anything.
real snakes.
At the point, there was one point where
There was,
like,
yeah.
there was one point.
Yeah, see, that's shit. And that, unfortunately, people in football all around the world do stupid shit like that. if you tailor it back just to like the snakes, really what you're doing is you create a storyline for the whole league.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's
when
actually-
Ninkovic went, right?
Yeah.
It creates a whole storyline for the whole league, the marketing of the league, the selling of tickets. It's actually so important for the game that stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
Because it fucking makes it something. Like that
Absolutely,
iconic
yeah.
shot of you smiling with the
Yeah.
snakes in the back.
Yeah.
That's eternal. You know what I mean? That's eternal.
It was
So,
cracker. And back
so it's
then
good.
it was like, it was like the pinnacle of the A-League. Like,
Yeah.
Everyone was like into it. Like,
Yeah.
You'd
Like,
walk
how-
out.
crowds, what was that? Probably 60,000?
Packed out.
Yeah, it was packed out.
Yeah.
There was a 40, 50, 60,000. Like,
Yeah, it's great.
Every derby, like,
I'm going to watch this.
and,
It
and
was
you
so
walk
good,
out,
man.
when you walk out of the tunnel, like, you can literally see half the stadium's red and black, half
Yeah.
the stadium's blue, and it's just
Yeah.
like, fuck,
Yeah.
like, this is sick.
Epic, yeah.
And you just soak it all in, like,
Yeah.
and then as the years went on, it was just fucking just died out.
Yeah.
But we need stories like that.
We
Like,
do.
and it's good. Like, it brings everyone together in a way, right? Because then you create that rivalry then
Yeah.
between like
Yeah.
the two teams. And,
So good.
And it was pretty good. Like, but yeah, it did get a bit like personal.
Some people got overboard. Huh?
Yeah, it did get a bit personal. But
Threats and shit.
like, yeah, there was always it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
How do I find this? What am I typing in?
oh fuck, I don't know. Eh?
Yeah, Janjetovic snake.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
And every snake.
Fuck.
Is it not one of these forums?
Just don't go on YouTube.
RIP.
Oh, that's the first video, yeah?
I don't know if that's it. No,
Right,
I don't
okay.
know if that's it. No, it's just you made a mistake.
Yeah, of course.
There's loads of them.
There is probably, yeah.
I watch all that.
Like, it's
It's
inevitable.
it's
eh?
actually funny enough not coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I don't get? I always cop shit for when I was at the Wanderers, cop shit for the goal against Brisbane. Remember like that?
The,
that when you bet
the corner, yeah.
So the day before that game happened, actually that's the day I tore my shoulder.
Okay.
Right? So then I went to this game, I was like, fuck, like
Yeah.
can't like I did that the next day. So I did that the next day.
Even the snake, that's hectic.
And like that got so much like attention that I
Yeah.
had to take it down.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because
That's
that
mad.
created
That's
a
good banter,
buzz.
like. That's
in
good
like
banter.
2 hours, that created such a buzz. Like,
That's class.
Inf put it up, and it was like, and that just it was like take it down. We had to take it down.
Ah, spill.
But
Yeah.
who knows where they put it on.
So,
But yeah,
like,
hold on, just quick. You did your shoulder there, and you
I
were
did
saying,
my shoulder
yeah,
before the Brisbane game,
Yeah.
right? Freak. It was just
bad injury I had.
my rotator cuff, the supraspinatus, I think that holds
Yep.
on to the
Yep.
Nasty.
was torn off. Was hanging on by 1 millimeter.
Right.
But I ended up playing that whole season
Shit.
on it, and I got scanned, I got this, I got that, and I'm like, oh no, come on, we need you. You know, like, I was like, no, but it hurts.
1 mil.
I said it really hurts. You know what I mean? Like every training session, I had an ice pack, and I just felt like my arm was going to fall off. Like, but yeah, so we were winning 2-1
Yeah.
from memory, and then I don't know, long ball came through, and I'm like, oh fuck, you know what? And like 2 minutes before that, I think Taggart was still at Brisbane then, pretty short. He had a shot low to my right, and I saved it, and my whole body just went to shock
Okay, so you.
because
Yeah.
my shoulder was done.
yeah.
And I remember I got up, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm
Yeah.
gonna faint here. Like
Yeah.
this is fucked.
Yeah.
Launched the ball long, and then whatever. I think it came back after, and then I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna just give myself some time here.
Yeah.
And then I went to control the ball, and if you watch the replay, it takes a hit off a little divot,
Yeah.
and it stays low. It
Yeah.
doesn't come up.
Yeah.
Hits the bottom of my stud, goes out for a corner. They get a corner in the 94th minute
And
or
they
whatever
score
it was,
it.
and they score for 2-2.
Yeah.
And I get shit for that all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't get shit for like the goal against Perth when I was at Sydney. I literally dropped a corner, like someone just swung a ball in. There was
Yeah.
no one near me. Oh, keepers. And he went through my legs, and Andy Keogh standing behind me just like taps it in. I'm like,
Yeah. But that
no-
corner one became.
I'm
yeah,
like, no one
became
talks about
iconic.
that. Like that's a proper mistake, right?
Aye.
But that corner one, fuck, that still to this day.
Must suck as a keeper, man. You
I
guys
get
make
it.
you guys make so many
Like-
good saves in your career, but
Yeah.
people aren't going to stop you in the street that save again.
Yeah,
It's more
and-
going to be
and
like that
yeah,
fucking hell.
Unless
Like,
it's like a Golden Banks, like one of those
yeah,
stupid things.
yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
do something incredible, game-winning save in the last minute to be memorable. It's
Yeah.
always just
It's
remember
just
that
like,
fucking
fuck,
one you
like-
missed.
Yeah.
Even just in a normal game, man. Like
Like
you can make 10 fucking saves.
Yeah.
Keep a team in the team, and then, like you say, like you make that mistake at the end.
Yeah.
No one remembers, man. It could have been freaking 8-0
Yeah.
loss.
doesn't
You lost,
matter.
yeah,
You know, but they just remember you fucked up.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they're abusing you
And,
for
and
it.
for
You're like,
strikers, is it opposite? Strikers like as
strikers opposite, man.
Yeah.
do nothing until 94th minute.
25
Unreal.
chances.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah, for some reason, I never understood why it was just that game. Like I've done some dumb shit, right? Like we've all been there.
Yeah.
But it's for some reason that moment gets brought up. For so
What
long.
was that? What was that? Sorry, my league knowledge is crap, but like, was that a big game?
I didn't think it was a big game.
It was just like a standard league game. It was
Yeah,
just that
normal league game.
happened.
We're up 2-1 and we ended up drawing 2-2. And I'm like, hell, there's like 11
that's
cunts that
good,
could defended the corner after that.
Yeah.
Any chance?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, fucking
Exactly.
hell.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I get blasted for that. Like, I'm like, oh fuck, I don't get it. Like, it just must be a.
But if you can have a laugh about it, and you know what I mean, and you can at least
yeah,
like
like
laugh
now-
back at them and
yeah.
don't. Fuck it.
Aye.
That's the best way to be about it because
Yeah,
at the end
You
of
think
the
all
day,
those
less,
guys,
but
every
yeah.
guy, woman whoever in the crowd, they've all got full-time jobs. They make an arse of stuff every day.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
we've all had tradies in our house.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking bent, mate. That's
Yeah,
not right. I mean,
yeah.
no one's
Yeah.
got that to say. Remember that time you fucked my shelf, mate?
yeah, exactly.
You know,
it is what
everyone
it
makes
is, yeah.
mistakes, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, whatever you
Especially
learn.
like as a goalkeeper as well. Our game is very mental. So if you're in a bad mental space, it's a fucking dark.
Lonely place, lonely
It's a
place.
dark place,
yeah,
man.
it's a dark place.
You know, you can say like say maybe I'd like to say Pavlicic at Central Coast Mariners.
Yeah.
You know, he's made a couple of those errors, and
Yeah.
you can see he's a good goalkeeper, but you can see his confidence and he's mentally like right now just in a low place, and that's why until you can get out of that, and it is sometimes so hard to get out of that. You performances maybe you struggle to try to get, you know. So then you on top of like you say, you know, you're making those on top of probably who knows, you know, you copy messages, you know, this, that. You're watching replays, you know, and then the replays are not, you know, you're seeing, you know, 50,000, 60,000, you know, people, you know, seeing that clip.
Yeah. And
mentally
comments
kills
and
you,
all the
of
rest.
course,
Yeah. It's shit. You got to be
It's like an
fucking.
individual sport and a team sport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and no one can pull you out of that but yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to like be in the right headspace to know, all right, fuck, like, all right, you made the mistake, whatever. It is what it is. You deal with it, and then you move on from it.
Yeah.
And there's no one else. Like, yeah, coaches could pat you on the back and be like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but fuck, you're not copping. He's not copping the messages. He's not
Aye.
copping all this. He's not copping all that. Like,
Yeah.
so you got to like, you know what, fuck, like, I actually don't care. Like,
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, just on like having a coach, that's when probably is even more important to have a coach you trust, or who's been experienced, or who's been seen you coming through, whatever. Because if you're going through that lonely place and the guy you're talking to, you're like, well, we don't really get on that well, then you feel even lonelier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is your Carson. That is your Scott Carson guy. That's a man.
Exactly.
That's all you've really got. You've got the sub goalkeeper or the resi keeper, whatever else, and him.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
that's really
yeah,
it.
well, no, funny you mention that because I've had a couple of coaches before I actually got my debut, and none sort of trusted the young guys. But when Frank Farina came in, and he like as soon as he came in, like put his arm around me, and he said to me, "Listen, I want you to. You're going to be the number one. Like I want you. I don't care what happens, but it's your time." Like, and he actually gave me a lot of confidence going into my first game.
Man.
So it felt so good, like just to know that he's in your corner,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm forever grateful for that.
that's good,
moment. Yeah,
That's good. I think the managers make a big difference
Yeah,
rather than just
absolutely.
leaving it to the goalkeeper coach. I think a lot of managers would just do that.
Yeah.
But if a manager actually pays attention to the goalkeepers, I reckon
And you know
they
the
make
ones
a-
that like don't because they look
Yeah.
at the goalkeeper coach like, you fucking serious?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a big mistake.
Yeah.
They just look over like that.
Yeah.
Fuck, so you know,
You
like,
taught him that yet?
yeah. What?
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, but it's big confidence.
I always wondered as a keeper, you always see those games where your team's peppering the other one. Are they the most? They must be the most dangerous games because you haven't touched the ball. You're
Yeah.
cold. Is it a thing? Whereas if you're getting battered, they're the games when you've made 5-6 saves. You back yourself more.
You're
Like
on it. You're on it. Yeah.
Especially like when you're getting battered and that, it comes to a point where like if you're making a few saves, you're almost like go again, let's go.
Yeah.
Because you're not just that
Just
mindset.
hot.
Like you're making saves, you're hot. You're
Yeah.
like let's go.
Yeah.
Whereas like you say, you fucking, you know, you're not doing anything all game. You're standing there. Don't get me wrong. You're involved in the game and stuff like that. You're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
And then all of a
Switch
sudden
on.
it's like
It's more verbal.
bang,
More verbal. Yeah.
you know, and then you're not maybe as you know.
yeah, it'd be tough.
Goalkeeping's changed massively. Goalkeeping's changed a lot, but because now it's all about building up for the back.
Yeah, fuck
keepers
playing
up-
out from the
up
back.
So keepers are now
All this
expecting
woke shit.
Yeah.
Get rid of it,
fucking
huh?
hell, man.
the goalkeeper, I think, but I get both sides of it. I get it from a goalkeeper. Let's just call it old school, not necessarily old school, because the bread and butter goalkeeper is to keep the ball at the fucking goal.
Well, that's your job, right?
That's
At
your
the
job,
end of the
aye.
day, the goalkeeper's job
and it
is to
has
keep the ball out of the
definitely
net.
sometimes it does seem to go too far down the other route of like, I need him good with his
Yeah.
feet. And you're like, I know,
He's
but
not
he's
a
not
six or
great.
a fucking-
at
you know
saving
what I
the
mean?
ball.
Like, yeah.
Aye, so but the same. Obviously, you can get both, then You're probably playing professional
how
football.
many
You're playing
goalkeepers?
Premier
What?
football.
How many goalkeepers
Aye.
do that?
Yeah.
No, it's
There's
changed
maybe
a lot.
5 in the world.
You'd much rather keep it, as you said. Your job is just keep the ball
Like
out. Yeah.
classic example, Onana at Man United.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fucking mad with his feet. Distribution is that goal.
Yeah.
Goal.
Yeah.
De Gea now what? He's playing in Italy.
Fiorentina, he's killing it.
He's
doing
one of the
well.
best goalkeepers now.
Yeah.
And they didn't believe in him because
Yeah.
he can't play with his feet. Like, who cares?
Crazy, eh?
Like, they would have
Insane.
been, not what they.
Who do you think's best goalkeeper right now in the world?
Thibaut Courtois for me.
I've seen him smaller as well. Some saves he made.
Yeah, but fuck, man, there's nothing you could do about those free kicks.
What about those free kicks?
Holy shit, bro. What was
That's a
that?
joke, man.
Yeah. You haven't seen it yet?
No.
Fuck, man.
Declan Rice too. Like,
Yeah.
joke.
Ridiculous.
Like,
We're talking like
You cannot get better free
Like,
kicks.
scary shit, bro. Like
The second one, he whacks it
Second one's
and bends it,
unbelievable. Yeah.
and it goes right in the postage from fucking, was that 25, 30 yards out?
Stupid goal.
You even see the first one, like the war.
It goes well out
See
the
how wide it goes. Like
Yeah.
he's like whipped it, and it's gone so wide and just comes in. Like it's man.
Mental.
I haven't seen it.
What
I gotta
about,
watch it.
quick question, when we played yours, Jordi Perez's free kick against you?
Yeah, look.
Was that a good free kick?
Yeah,
Hard to-
I
hard to angle
should have
for us.
done better.
Right, okay.
You know, obviously it's down my side. You know, I've set the wall up there, and then I have that guy that comes, you know, in like sort of blocks that my knee post for me,
Yeah.
to give me that bit of extra protection. And he sort of just like turned a bit, which sort of, I think if he stayed, it hits him. So then it makes me able to just maybe stand a little bit, you know, if he puts it over.
Small margins, man,
It's
innit?
small margins, and then I take that little step just before he kicks across that way,
Yep.
then to go back that way. So I've killed myself. But yeah, it's hard, especially when it's that close. Like your instinct is to like move.
Cover behind the wall.
Yeah. But yeah, and then look, he hit it, and then it just sort of bounced and
But-
shot
I
off
was
just
just saying, bounced right
before,
before
you
you
know,
went,
because I got something on it, but didn't get enough. And yeah, look, he finished it, and fair play. But yeah, I was disappointed with that one.
Well, it did hit it well, and it did, obviously, it was quite close as well. So
Yeah.
you hit it that well, and it's close in the corner, you give yourself a chance. I was actually screaming from the sidelines, don't fucking shoot. I hate people shooting direct for free kicks. If you look at the odds statistically, hardly anyone ever fucking scores.
Yeah.
And everyone but every player, outfield player, and who hit and go, this is grand. You see their name in line, they go, oh, I scored a crack at training during the week, I'll give us a crack. But hardly anyone ever scores them, and then they score one, and then they think they can do it every time. That's why I was texting the boys this morning at Spirit saying, like, Declan Rice, two of the small. Because I was
hit
Jordi
two,
getting another one
yeah.
against you later on. He wanted to shoot again. I'm like, you're not scoring two in the same game, mate.
God, to stack now. They were bad
Declan Rice.
before, they're worse now. Yeah.
Well, actually, when I think about goalkeeping, when you're just talking about small margins, it was like comparing like an amateur goalkeeper to a professional goalkeeper. And I think it was looking at the biomechanics and sports science side of things. And I think it compared Buffon. It was talking about like if you see an amateur goalkeeper dive to a corner, it's not like they can't dive to the corner or dive up to the top corner. It's just how quickly the professional keeper has read or perceived the movement of, right, he's opened his body up a certain way. And obviously you boys subconsciously are taking up all that information rapidly.
Yeah.
And you're adjusting so quickly, your feet position, how your set position, and how different, like Buffon had basically seen all these movements, shape of the body, the way they strike the ball so many times that he just knew how to move, and it just looked like he was getting there better, quicker, sharper. He
Effortless,
just
eh?
read
Yeah,
it. So it's such small margins, man. It's a mental sport, goalkeeping. It's like I honestly think it's a different sport.
It's crazy.
He's trained differently.
Crazy,
He's
yeah.
got different match day prep.
Yeah.
Just different demands in the game.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild, man. It's wild.
No, it
I
is.
would never be one, man.
Crazy to think
Nah,
of.
fuck
It's
that.
like, you look at all the other sports, basketball and all that, like everyone's got the same, just go and play.
It's the same
Even
training,
goalkeeping,
yeah.
and a lot of head coaches don't have a clue about goalkeeping.
No.
And that's the thing. Like, so maybe obviously at a professional level, elite level, and even semi-pro, we've got goalkeeping coaching, which is great. But as soon as you go below that, goalkeeping coaches are a luxury for a lot of clubs.
Yeah,
They don't have it in the budget.
But
So
even, even in the NPL now, like there's teams that still don't
to have it, aye.
coaches,
It's
yeah.
wild,
Yeah, I'm
man.
pretty sure Wollongong don't have a goalkeeper coach.
Didn't have one at the weekend anyway.
If that's the case, if they don't, like,
That's
I think that keeper there, you know him, but
Ollie, yeah,
it's
Ollie's
his
good.
first year in
He
the
started off
league.
quite, he started off quite well, but is he not?
Yeah,
Yates, is that his name?
Ollie Yates, yeah.
Aye, he started off quite well, I think.
Yeah, and look, he's a young goalkeeper.
He's a big boy
and,
too, yeah.
You know, but that's where these years are the most important. His first year in the NPL, like,
Yeah.
they should be having
Should
someone
have a
for him,
coach, yeah.
just to mentor him,
100%.
just to.
You don't have a coach
Because
at that level.
Yeah, he hasn't played. So
And they're
sometimes
going
maybe
into
he doesn't know
his-
what he's doing wrong.
They're
Like,
going
you
into
know,
his national division
positioning-wise
as well.
It's the thing, eh?
No,
mate,
they're going
I
into
think
the
it's mental,
championship.
like,
all of them.
imagine-
Yeah, they're on the championship.
How can
That's
they
what I
not
mean.
have a fucking
Yeah,
coach?
He stops the goal. Who's this position? This guy stops the goals going. So basically, he stops potentially you losing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to start training. What's this guy doing?
Yeah.
Off you go, mate. You're shouting 50 minutes.
Yeah. Half an hour.
Let's
Half an
go.
hour, we'll go back.
And you know what? No matter what, like maybe as we're obviously older now, like we've got that bit of experience. You know, we could probably do it.
Yeah.
But it's never the same. Like the feeling when you have a goalkeeper coach there, you just end up doing those. You push yourself that little bit further. Because he's there, he's pushing you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Whereas if it's just me with some of the younger kids, say training, you're not half sacking it off, but you're not putting that full effort in as. You know?
It's like going to the gym or having a personal trainer, right?
You're just like the environment dictates your performance. If you, for instance, if you were coaching him, say right now, straight away you'd be like, you know he's got high standards. You don't want to look like a dick in front of him either. So it's like, okay, he's getting good, setting the ball in well. Everything's looking sharp and it's looking good. And as you said, naturally, like brilliant. I feel good.
But even against Spirit. So as soon as half time, I'm more like normally Nathan, my goalkeeper coach, sort of comes to me like, you're right, yep. And then straight away he's got the iPad. He goes, you want to see it? Like the goal, the free kick.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I had that. I saw it. I was like, all right, sweet.
Put it to bed almost.
Yeah, put it to bed. Watch it. It was just like, so that having that.
That's good.
You know what I mean? And you know, and then just with the communication and like you say, when those little things that just to clear my mind. Yeah. You know, which helps.
Yeah, that's hectic. Yeah.
Because it is goalkeeping is mental.
Yeah.
You know?
But even for me, like having a goalkeeper coach, right? It gives the goalkeeper the ability to switch off, right? So you don't have to think about, what am I doing? Oh, what am I going to do today at training? I don't have a goalkeeper coach, so I've got to come up with all these exercises now, these drills and shit that I've got to do.
Yeah.
But for me, goalkeeper coach takes all that out of you and like, you're there to work.
Yeah.
Like all my career, I knew I was there to work. So I'm just like, all right, whatever the session is, I don't have to plan it.
Yeah.
It's already there.
Yeah.
Just put in 100% and you're sweet. And it's kind of the only time that you switch off. Well, for me anyway. Like you switch off as a goalkeeper because you go through all the motions, like you go through everything, but you're doing 100%, right?
Yeah.
And then after, whatever, it is what it is. Obviously, game day, then you switch on.
And
But also as well, like when you're playing against someone, like when I was in A-League, I knew what the strikers did. I knew what the wingers did.
Okay.
Because the coach would tell you all that.
I knew what their 10 did. I knew how the 10 played. I knew if he was on this side.
He likes to shift on his left or something.
Correct, there's going to be a through ball here, or there's going to be, he's going to be running in. So you'd
see the last 10 penalties.
Yeah. So you'd know, you'd sort of study their attacking. Then you also got to know your defending. You got to know where your players are, what they're doing, what their job roles are. Like, they don't give a shit about us. They just stop the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into like goalkeeping that no one really like
It's true, yeah.
thinks about or talks about. But like, you know your back four. You have to know your back four, right? Then if you got like 6 or whatever, like
you need to talk the whole time. Man.
Yeah, you got to talk the whole time. Your structure. You got this. You got that. What corner comes in? You got to know who's standing where. Like all that's who's marking who. Like in your wall, you got to know who's in the wall because players just switch off. Like sometimes
I think removing the guesswork, like in terms of usage, like so especially if you work all day at NPL level.
Yeah,
you get to training. Like
you might be
home and have to deal with kids or whatever else. You get to training, you're knackered. I remember I went back playing 2 or 3 years ago and straight away, Gaz, can you run the warm up? And I'm like, can I fuck?
Yeah.
No.
I don't care if it's the shittest warm up ever. I'm not thinking about the warm up. Just run me through a fucking warm up, man. I do this all the time, man. No chance, man.
You just switch off, Like you just.
How do you find? I always find it because of Chaz. Like, say you're watching a Premier League game or guys on Optus or whatever chatting about games, and you go like that. Goalkeepers should have done better there, or goalkeeper. But because
of course, when you look at it,
because I don't have a clue about goalkeeping, but you naturally, if you watch something, you go goalkeeper because you've done better there.
Yeah.
You don't actually know. Like,
it's one of those ones, 50-50 all the time for me. Like,
it's always a near post comment in it. I should say that.
There we go.
Where did that come from? Like, what right is it? Fucking near post is your thing, man.
Yeah. That near post never goes in. Never. That's just been the standard.
I think if you get a normal person that actually stands in the goal, it's a fucking big goal, man. No, seriously.
You're a big guy, bro. If you're saying
that, you're 6'6" and your arm span fucking 4 meters.
People don't realize, like, we're not talking about a futsal goal, man. Like,
it's a big goal, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then okay, he's got the ball, but you also know there's a guy here you can cut it back to.
Yeah.
So you can't just like, you know, there's so much more things to it than just, shoot, they only went near post. Like, don't get me wrong, near post sometimes you should cover more, I agree.
Yeah.
But certain senses that sometimes you can't help it. Like, you know, and then they're like, near post.
And it's
someone was talking about recently, it was, I was listening to a podcast recently, it was a goalkeeper was on, it was Schmeichel was on the overlap, and they were saying that same debate, and he said, well, what would happen is if I started overprotecting the near post is they go far post and go, why is no protecting far post? It's like, it's the exact same conversation.
It's true.
I can't protect the whole goal.
Yeah.
And plus, like, even if like someone is coming near post and you, like you said, the cutback's on, as soon as you like put a bit of your body weight to one side, you finish.
Aye,
Like,
'cause
there's no
these-
way you're going back to the other
The
side.
same way you read a striker, strikers are reading goalkeepers.
Yeah,
As soon as you plant one way, they're going,
You're done.
I'm
Yeah,
they're
you're
going as
done.
well.
You're finished. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a waiting game. But
What about for you boys? Like now, I mean, you've got a lot of football ahead of you. For you now, Vedran, what's as a goalkeeper that's given that much to the game? What's next for you?
well, we're just about to kickstart our academy again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you got a
So-
goalkeeping business? Is that right?
Yeah, we had it before. We had it. Was about a year ago?
Yeah,
a year and a bit maybe. We had
Whenever
it.
since you.
I seen it on Instagram. I just seen it. I hadn't been active, so I figured there was something.
Yeah.
Well, he went off to the Bulls.
I went to Bulls, and then we had the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
Champions State. I was still trying to do it a bit.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Still
It's
hard,
full
mate.
time,
It's still hard,
man.
it's still
Very
hard,
hard.
it's
Because the two of you are both hands-on coaching the keepers. Yeah.
Well, our philosophy is like if we're not doing it, then who else is going to do it?
Yeah, it's true.
You know.
How are we going to get our experience to them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
That's great. So you guys
we
are gonna
put
start
that
that
on a
back.
pause, and yeah, we're gonna start up probably in the next couple of weeks.
Great.
Get it going again.
Brilliant.
Which will be good. Like we enjoy it. It's
it's good. Just you give back, like you said. You
Yeah.
give back, and there's kids that actually want to learn. And we're not easy to deal with as coaches. I don't think.
Oh really?
High standards.
You
But
tough nuts,
yeah,
both
like,
of you.
we have to be.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you have
Yeah.
to be.
Of course we
You
do.
can't
Yeah.
go, oh yeah, it's okay. You know, no, it's not okay. Like,
Shite.
yeah.
yeah. What the fuck's that? Yeah, like who taught you that? Where'd you get that from?
Yeah.
Because if
He's
you
like,
don't,
Daniel told me.
because if you don't from the get go, right, and they let things slide, they
course
they
they
get
will.
away with little things
Habits,
here and
eh?
there, but
Yeah,
the
it's
habits,
habits,
yeah,
yeah.
you start building shit.
But that's why you hear stuff now like the youth competitions not having points.
Yeah, like
You can't, eh? You build those habits from
like,
when
you
you're
can't
a
just play
kid.
for, like okay, you play for fun, but like you want to win shit.
Who's your top goal
100%.
scorer? We don't record.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fuck off, mate. I've got 42 goals. I am a top goal scorer.
me, bitch.
As a striker, like goalkeeping, the same. Like you need. That's what you need. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It's
As a
good
kid,
habits.
if you're playing your mate
You
in the
have
back
to build,
garden,
yeah.
you're going 1-0, 2-0.
Yeah.
What's the score?
Yeah.
And you get the actual competitive day. We don't actually care.
Yeah.
What, man?
That to me is rubbish.
Yeah.
Because you build like such
Competitiveness, man.
Yeah.
You look at jobs outside our sport. People say looking for ex-athletes,
Yeah.
sports-minded
Yeah.
people,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you want that competitiveness. Because
Correct, yeah,
people,
correct.
whether it be in finance, there's numbers to hit. There's people need that drive. You can't just go like, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't
If you hit
matter. You know
targets,
what?
aye.
This season we're not actually counting anything. There's no points, so it's all
Well,
good.
counting the
Yeah,
revenue
like, what
this
the
year.
fuck's
Shit,
that?
man,
Like,
that's shit.
like, and then what else is there? Yeah, there's like a certain age group where they don't even do that. Then there's
Yeah.
like
Like say the 20s in the FPL.
I know,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Like it's
It's weird, isn't it? It's a weird.
It's a tough age. It's a very tough
It's the
age.
young ones that are sort of getting that little bit of
But
thing,
it's
and then there's
not-
that middle one where it's like they're not really ready for first grade, but they're not.
You're better off dropping a league, not
Yeah,
first
you're
grade.
better off, honestly. Yeah, just going to MPL 2
Yeah.
and playing
Playing first
men.
team.
Yeah, and just getting that game time on it because it's they're not playing for points.
It's
You
one
got
of
to
those-
train as well. It's like, we
crap.
need 4 of your players for 20s to first grade.
Yeah.
It's like there's 11 of them trying to do like rondos and finish them. You can't do
that's bad.
shape because half of them don't usually play anyway. And there's 4 guys for the
the
20s.
20s is just a shit
It's a weird
spot to be.
It's a
in,
bad
eh?
age.
I don't really know what the solution is here, but it is definitely a weird dynamic,
Yeah.
man.
Because what's
Yeah.
the age? You miss what? 17s? There's no 17s.
There's no 17s and there's no
So-
19s.
Yeah. So if you're one or the other,
Yeah.
what the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
You can't. You're not ready for first grade, but then you're not ready for 20s because
Yeah.
those 20s are sort of ready for first grade. And
Yeah.
you can't compete with them. Like, what do you do?
Well, Victoria's gone to 23s.
Oh, is
you go.
it?
And I think Queensland as well.
Well, I've
Just to
heard
keep
that-
players there longer.
I've heard
you
Victoria,
need it,
the
though.
Victorian teams
Yeah.
are going to put the 23s in the championship.
Yes, they do. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I was going to ask, sorry, quite a bit about Wolves. Just quickly, how did you find going to playing back in NPL?
It was good. It was good. Yeah. It's competitive. The training was good.
How did your shoulder hold up picking up that brown envelope?
Well, like I
every
said, off air, we were saying like I hadn't done anything for like 4.5 years.
Yeah.
So like I was speaking to Carney, who was the coach at the time, and I just said, look, I actually don't know what I'm going to give you. I'll give you as much as I can, but fuck, it could go at any second. You know what I mean? But it pulled up every game, got better and better and better, and played every single game, every single minute. So
Brilliant.
it was pretty good. Yeah.
But you-
Did you find? I never asked you this question. Did you
Who
find?
the fuck's the host?
No, just curiosity. I never asked
Go
a
on,
question.
it.
Like,
Go on, it.
obviously, the way through injury, you fucking couldn't play, right?
it was
Like
the
you had to
worst.
stop. No, but
Yeah.
you had to stop. So
Wasn't even.
so then, no, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't. You physically couldn't.
Yeah, but it was back then. It was COVID as well, so I had no treatment. I had nothing. Like I was just by
yeah.
myself at home, like a fucking.
So
Yeah.
the way like you thought maybe it fucking had ended,
Yeah.
and then to go and play that year and sort of
Yeah.
end on your sort of terms stuff, was it better mentally for you?
Mentally, yeah.
Yeah.
Mentally,
Yeah.
it was. It gave me like a little bit of like,
Closure.
Closure, just to like, you know what, you could still play probably, but it's done.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Why did you make that decision? You're happy to finish?
Yeah, I spoke to a couple of NPL teams for this season.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it's too much fucking around. Like, oh, I want this, want that, or training here, training there, or you want this much money, that much. Like, I'm just like, you know what? Fucking don't worry about it. Like, it's all good. I'm not going to talk to you about a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there. I don't need it.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, I don't. It's not about that.
Is the door completely closed?
It's not closed.
Okay. All right.
But like, we just couldn't come to terms like with anything, and then
So the window, so if the window comes up, you'd still be potentially an option.
Well, I'm still keeping fit.
Yeah.
I'm still keeping fit. So
How long's Chaz in Scotland?
He comes back and he doesn't have a job.
I've been so back to Scotland, mate. Actually, lost your gig, mate.
Chaz to stay.
Claude is hosting, and
you're done. No, it's not fully closed, but it was just that like the time frames of like talking to teams, and obviously I didn't speak to anyone for the majority part of it because I wanted Wollongong to make up their mind with what they want to do because they're the ones that gave me an opportunity. Yeah. So I felt it was only right to give them the first dibs. But again, broke down communications, whatever, and then spoke to a couple other clubs, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good closure for myself.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
It's good. Never say never. What about you, Danny? You're still young. In goalkeepers' years, you're still very young, right? 30?
Yeah, 30.
So
just turned 30, yeah.
you had that stint at Bulls.
Yep.
NPL, I'm sure you focused on Sharks and trying to, win some silverware or get them to the finals. But do you still have ambition to step up back to the professional level?
Oh, look.
If you start the academy, you're not going anywhere.
Look, for me, look, I'm happy at Sutherland. Like, I'm really enjoying it. I'm also, like, I'm in the family business now. So I'm trying to learn that, which is good.
What's the family business?
Commercial fit out.
Okay, nice, man.
Yeah.
Mad.
So am I looking for it? No.
Yeah.
Do I want it? No.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
But you'd listen if
I've
it
done
came.
it now. I've done it now.
Yeah.
And, I'm still, like, I'm in that next part of my life. Like, still playing my football, which I still enjoy, and I still give 100%.
Yeah.
But now I'm on that where, like, at the end of the day, what have I got? Maybe another 6 years, 5 years, 4 years. I don't know, depending, obviously how my body goes and stuff on this Astro. So I got to look for that next future thing.
Yeah.
Because in the day, look, not having to dig at the A-League or anything, but say if I was to go back to the A-League, the money's not the best anymore. Like,
Is that not
and at that point in time, you have like,
And you got to give up everything else.
Money, don't get me wrong. It's
No,
not-
yeah.
But there's a point
It's
at
a
my age
factor,
now.
though.
I'm not
It's a factor.
21, 22 years old anymore. Like, I have mortgages. I have like, I need to look. I need to sort of look out for myself too.
Yeah.
So it's sort of just like, where I'm in my life right now. I'm happy, and I just want to continue that.
It is pretty unique, NPL football, like what it can offer people to still have that competitiveness and still play at a good level week in, week out for football that means something, but be able to pursue other careers. It's pretty unique. A lot of people don't get that chance to do that, to be a businessman.
In Scotland, I coach quite a few boys who play like the equivalent of, say, NPL in Scotland. But the money is nowhere near.
No.
Like the standard is probably better, but it's like they get something like £70 a week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like petrol money, a few beer tokens, and that's it.
I've always said I think we have one of the best semi-pros in the world. In my opinion.
In terms of money and everything.
Well, in terms of everything, right? Because if you look at the UK or Italy or Spain or one of the top European nations, they got a lot of professional leagues. So and even like conference now, you'd say it's borderline pro. A lot of those players are becoming full-time in conference, right? Yeah. So you're not hitting semi-pro till 6th tier. You can't tell me. Don't be one of those that come and say, oh, NPL's like 7th tier UK, or you can't say that.
No,
don't give me that shit.
Where do you think
I hate when people say that because it's not. It's not. You've been there. It's not.
My thing with NPL is always the same in terms of, like, if you take the best of the NPL one, nowhere near it. But there is some players.
Of course.
I'm saying, like, so if you're looking at average, it's a bit above that. But if you take, so this year, for instance, let's ignore the 3 academy sides. So who's near the bottom just now? Mount Druitt. Who else is there? Like Pedrino at Mount Druitt.
Yeah.
Right. He's doing really, really well. So, like, okay,
he's a good player, but some of the other
boys
ones,
maybe her 22nd man. I don't know these guys personally.
Oh, of course not.
So I think it's hard to say.
But what I'm saying is, how many
apples,
other leagues in the world or countries in the world would you have a professional player playing at the top tier that gets released and goes into semi-pro? It's very rare. We have that in Australia,
is
right?
That a result of this? Is that because of the
look at him. He was at Bulls. Now he's back in the semi-pro tier. Like, so that's.
I think that's when it's better in that regard because you've got there's pros and cons to that. The pro to it is the fact that you've got opportunity to go straight from NPL football to professional. There's more eyes on you. It's a small league. The disappointing thing there's less opportunity to actually become pro because you've only really got that.
There's only 10
There's
teams.
only-
It's like England.
Yeah.
If you go through an
Yeah,
academy
right.
in England,
Yeah.
you don't make it as in like through the academy. A championship team will pick you up or a League One
Yeah,
team.
you're still in the.
That's the
You're
thing.
still in a professional
Professional.
environment.
Yeah.
And then, and then also because they have more of the leagues there, say example, you need to get minutes. You're in
Yeah.
say in a championship.
Loan
you can go to
down.
League 1, League 2,
100%.
go get minutes.
Oh, it's
And
way
you're
better
playing
for
that
players.
professional,
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. Like it's
Way better for players.
I mean, so if you're
But I'm saying, like, as far as like our semi-pro tier gets to get A-League players that drop down,
Oh, bro,
financially it's better supported as well.
It's a dream,
it's
mate.
like-
Like Sparky for St George City, for instance, he's came from playing like championship football, playing at Wembley, playing professionally, playing with Scotland. Comes over here, getting I don't know what his wages, but
It'd be
half
decent.
decent wage.
Yeah.
Moves to Sydney, living down in Cronulla next to the beach.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like
He'd be loving
trains
it,
3
eh?
nights a
Enjoying
week,
life, yeah.
get a weekend, still can pay bills and live his life, and he's got his family coming over.
great.
Like you're basically in not many other countries to play semi-pro.
Nah.
Would you get
Then
that?
you can get all those.
But at the same time, if he was in a situation where he goes, "Do you know what? I want to stay in the full-time system," and you're in Australia,
Oh,
you've only
yeah,
got
nah,
12 options.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that's when the con of it
Nah,
is.
you're
So-
fucked.
not
Yeah.
a lot.
But I do
Yeah.
agree. Like, if you're in a situation where you go, "Do you know what? I want to build a business, but I still love football. I want part of it."
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
It's pretty. Yeah. It's
Absolutely
very
amazing.
unique.
Absolutely
Very
brilliant.
unique.
You get a nice wee balance, and
Yeah.
that's. But from your standpoint, and you look at Jurasevsky as well, a couple of years ago, chance to go to A-League, it's a bit like,
Like, I'm sure he's had a few opportunities
Aye,
to go.
like, why? But I'm getting paid half decent money at Rockdale. I've got my business going.
got a family.
here.
then,
you know,
traveling all over.
Yeah, and then as I'm saying, you travel interstate every second week. Like say the pros and cons of A-League. Don't get me wrong, A-League's it's good. Like in a professional environment, it's good. But again, like you if you're playing in Adelaide, your freaking cousin's getting married.
Yeah.
Mate, you can't just say, "Oh,
I know.
listen, this weekend I can't travel." yeah, fucking get on the plane, mate. You're going.
Mate, you're
Whereas
not
these
going to get on
NPL
planes, mate. You got off.
also has a bit of flexibility. You
Yeah,
you
way
can sort
more.
of,
of
they,
course,
they
not
work
take that
they
far.
work with
Sorry,
you
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas that's so.
Well, Chaz went to Sydney FC Women. He was a goalkeeping coach there. Obviously, he was like, brilliant, good to get involved and blah, blah, blah. But very quickly, he runs his own business as well. And he was like, mate, I'm fucking over in Adelaide and I'm in Perth. And I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, and it's not just, you're doing this session. You're prepping, you're analysing
Mm-hmm.
things, you're talking to coaches, you're talking to the goalkeeping because you're so invested in the person as well.
Yeah.
It becomes a full-time, like a real full-time job, but the money does not
Doesn't
No,
reflect
yeah.
it.
equivalent of it.
Your
So it's,
your time versus what you're actually getting out of it.
so
It's
then that's
like,
when you go like,
what
how
am
do I stay in
doing?
football?
Yeah.
That's why, like, for you boys, if you could be running a goalkeeping coaching academy, you're still invested in football. Your life is football, but you're still getting that buzz of I get my game day.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah,
that competitive
yeah.
man. It's a fucking great from that.
That's a
point,
great
I think,
gig. Yeah,
100% great
yeah.
balance.
Yeah, awesome.
And I think 99% of people would take that.
Yeah, aye, 100%,
Like,
mate, aye.
as crazy as it sounds.
Yeah.
If you gave someone that package, living
Family
a good
life.
yeah,
Flexibility.
flexibility, you're home all the time, like
9 months of the year, not even the whole year as well.
Yeah, exactly. So if you gave someone that versus a standard A-League contract,
Aye.
I dare say that.
Age group's probably the only thing. If you're younger,
Yeah, if you're younger,
If you're younger
you
and you really want to go somewhere,
Aye.
yeah, no worries.
I will
But
say
like, if you want that lifestyle
yeah.
yeah.
and you're about that, then I mean, everyone's taking that any
100%.
day of the week.
Yeah.
Any day of the week.
Right, cool. We're just going to finish off with the predictions of the weekend. So we just take 4 teams from each division. We pick winner, lose or draw. We take a score. End of the year, we have a league table. I think the highest anyone's got is 7 out of 12. Hard to pick. So we'll go start first game, Sydney United versus Rockdale. So Daniel, what do you think?
United.
Obviously. Don't always put that in there.
Is this Chaz? Does he pick the games? Yeah.
Aye, Chaz picks it, aye. He usually doesn't put like spirit in that because he knows it'll be a stitch up.
Yeah.
Big man.
Sydney United.
I'll go. Where is it at United?
Is that United?
Draw.
Draw.
Can you pick draw? Yeah.
I think if you want, mate.
I'll go draw there.
I'm going to go Rockdale. just to be completely
different,
Right, Daniel, Blacktown City versus St George Saints.
Where at?
It's at Blacktown City. They'll be disappointed after the defeat tonight, won't they?
Draw.
Well, we'll run them down tonight.
Yeah, I'll go draw with that one.
Is Saints the better one or the
Better one, yeah.
Right now they're playing the best, aye.
Blacktown?
Yeah, they'll need to bounce
Blacktown
back.
at
Blacktown.
Blacktown at home. You need your night vision goggles. You need.
I'm in draw.
Like,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
fancy shit.
Right, we're going to other St George now versus Sydney Olympic. It's at St George, at Penshurst. Small pitch, very small pitch.
Olympic.
That's the worst St George, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, one that's not doing as good.
Oh, fuck, I don't know. Olympic.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go Olympic as well.
I'm going to go draw again. Sydney FC versus Central Coast Mariners, your two favourite teams, mate.
Chalk it off. Postponed.
0-0 draw.
Sydney FC.
Yeah, I'll go Sydney.
Try to win
FC.
back the fans.
Sydney FC.
Yeah, well, fuck. I never want to leave if anyone's interested.
I'm going to say. Okay, now go to MPL 2. Spartans versus Northern Tigers.
Northern Tigers.
Tigers look strong this year.
Yeah.
Tigers.
Draw.
Draw?
Draw.
I hope so.
It's at Spartans, which is not a great pitch.
Yeah.
Okay, ST Raiders versus Inter Lions.
SD Raiders.
Yeah.
Yep.
You said SD Raiders was on
Top of the league,
yeah,
they're playing really well before.
Yeah, Raiders.
Raiders as well. Beautiful. Right, okay, Rydermere versus MacArthur Rams.
I'll go right on me because I know Abbas.
I'm gonna go draw.
Yeah, I'll go right on me. I think they're doing well. They're doing
Yeah,
well.
I'll go say Rams are bottom of the league, aren't they?
Right,
Oh,
right on me
fuck,
doing
alright.
alright.
Rams are two. Right on me. I started.
Tom,
I think Rams are bottom few.
Bottom. Right, Hakoah versus Hills United.
Hells.
Hills.
Oh, sorry.
Look, I'm trying to back your accent. So spiteful, man.
I go draw.
Hold a grudge. I'll go Hills.
Oh, struggling, aren't they?
They are, right.
Hills.
Hills as well. Right, I'm going to go draw. Right, Parramatta versus South Coast Flames last few games.
Para.
Para.
South Coast. You said South Coast was struggling? Someone say that?
Oh, they're decent, but I think but Para are top.
Para on top, yeah.
Para equal top.
Okay, yeah, I'll go Para.
Yeah.
Good old.
Yeah, I go Para
I'm
as
the
well.
same myself. Full.
Yeah.
And then two last games. Zagreb versus Hawkesbury at Hawkesbury.
What,
It's
do you
easy
need,
one.
do you need,
Zagreb.
to
Hawkesbury
ask, you need
third.
to ask that one?
Oh, it's
Zagreb's got that all day.
Hawkesbury are good, aren't they?
third.
And that's not an easy place to go. I'm
Nah,
going to go
nah, it's
Hawkesbury
not.
there.
Nah,
That's a
bro,
tough place
come
to
on,
go.
man.
It's a tough place to go.
I'm going to go Zagreb.
Yeah.
Right, last game. Prospect versus Granville Rage.
I don't know them.
I don't know.
A draw.
Yeah, just draw.
I'm going to go Granville.
Granville. Tomic plays for them. Anti Tomic.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Granville.
Aye.
Yeah.
You've said draw, mate.
Too late now?
That's alright.
Draw.
Draw. I'll go Granville. Right, boys.
Fuck, if we were bookies,
We'd be fucked. We'd lose.
that's to be losing their cash.
Boys, thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, man. Brilliant class. And Claude, thanks for your time as well.
Nah, no worries.
Massive
Thanks for
help.
having me, man.
Cheers, boys. Class.
Thank you.
Man.
Done. Thanks, lads.
Yeah, good episode, man.
Bit of banter.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
What was that guy's name you said?
Or,
The gaffer was the white.
oh, Darren Yoka.
Danny
Darren Yoka.
Yoka.